T-shirt.
Hey, oh, I didn't wear mine. I should wear mine, man. What's up, guys? I think we're live. Yeah. Okay.
What's
we're
up,
live.
everybody?
We're live and connected. I'm just making sure all of our connections are going.
Guys? I think we're live.
Okay.
What's up, everybody? Can you hear me?
Like, you hear that light? That's from your phone, I think.
Oh yeah, I just turned it off. Sorry.
It's all good. I can hear you. There you go. Okay.
All right, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Brian here from Who's Geckos. I'm stepping in for AJ the Reptiles.
This is Asian AJ right here.
Yeah, I'm the Asian AJ.
Yeah, cool. How many people we got? Let's see here.
I see 17.
17 or so. That's good.
You know.
Cool. So let me just do a quick intro. This is the Gecko Pod. We are on our live stream. We've had like 3 or 4, huh, Brian? 3?
This one is our third one. This is our third one.
Nice, man. Yeah, the live streams are fun. We are a podcast for the gecko community where we talk about the hobby and business of breeding geckos. Today we have a special episode. Brian and I were going to chat it up, talk about some current events and do some Q&A that you guys sent in via Instagram. And then we're going to have some guests with us. It's going to be a new / up and coming breeder segment. We have about 4 guests with us that's going to jump in at various times. So we're excited for that. So yeah, man, how you doing, Brian? You good?
I'm good, man. Just living life, man. I just had dinner. Dinner was you know what I had for dinner?
What you eat?
Oreos.
What? For dinner?
For dinner.
That's it?
You know that's the best part of being an adult. You can eat whatever you want for dinner.
I do what I want.
I do what I want. I had I had those monster Oreos, the more Oreo, the one with the double stuff, and then it's cookies and cream filling inside. So
yeah.
I had that with milk, but I had hot pot for lunch, so I was a little full, and I was just like, let me just tap it off a little bit before I start this. So
yeah. You're it's 8 o'clock over where you are at. I'm 5 p.m. here, so I haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah. It's 8 o'clock.
So we're on the coast, man. We're on the opposite coast.
So you'll be eating after the podcast.
I'll be eating after. The family will be eating before me, but I'll eat after. But yeah. So we have a few Q&A things. Is there anything in particular you want to jump off on, Brian? Any topics that you have a burning to discuss?
Well, let's find out. I know you got something that you got today, so like you've been accumulating some new stuff. So let's talk about that. Yeah. What have you gotten recently?
All right, so I started getting to leopard geckos, and Brian. So for everyone else, Brian's like, dude, no, man, you gotta keep your collection, manageable. But I'm just like so interested in kind of these leopard geckos and how their morphs work and how you can predict everything that's going to happen, and their bright, vibrant colors, and they're shortened. It's quicker to breed them, so you can get results at a quicker pace. And so it interests me a lot. And so let me pull up a picture of my stuff. But what do you think, man? What is grill me on it? Go ahead.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. So the only thing my advice to anybody that's new into the hobby, not like I'm talking about like fresh, like you didn't do this before, you're first jumping in and you decide to get a few geckos, and now you got like 50 to 100 crested geckos. I just say, just don't go crazy with so many different species, because you're just going to, you don't want to burn yourself out. But if you keep it limited, leopard geckos are super simple to keep, super nice. Like the one that you got, they're beautiful. It's kind of hard to not want something like, because it's just so like eye catching, and they are actually really excellent animals. They were the first geckos I've owned back in. Actually, I had them probably when I was 15, so that's 1997. So 1997, I had leopard geckos, and they were what drew me into geckos in general. So they're simple to take care of, easy to breed. They're more advanced in terms of more more morphs out there with recessive genes. There are probably incomplete dominant genes are only, I think there's only 2.
Mm,
So they have a lot more recessive genes. I mean, just with albinos and stuff.
yeah.
And albinos are always my favorite. So
Yes. Yeah. So I think I got 6. So
6,
I got 3.
6, 6 in the last week.
Yeah, 3 females, 3 3 males, just as a starter project. I got some from Coastside Geckos, the
Mhm.
Reply Spot. Scott, he's gonna be with us today. Miami Art Geckos, and then Jorge, or George, however you want to call him, down with
Mhm.
Golden Valley. And so I'll see them next week.
Yep.
But yeah, like I think I saw your giants, which was your giant leopards, and
Mhm.
that drew me in. I was like, dude, that's so cool. Everything you
Yeah.
get, Brian, I like the lychee or the chewies.
I gotta stop showing you what I buy so that way you don't
That's so
like.
funny, man. Don't tempt me, man. Don't tempt me. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't go crazy with it because I'm limited on space. But I'll have to.
You just buy another place, buy another house, or get rid of a kid. You can get rid of a kid. You
I need
know,
the room. Take the room.
put
That's funny.
one of the kids in the bathroom. It's all right. You just sleep in the bathtub now.
Yeah. There's Kenny. Kenny, all right. Get those
Get
likes
the
up.
likes up, man.
How about
Yeah, I
Kenny?
mean, seeing the cat chat, people are talking about Black Knights. Black Knights is probably one of the hottest leopard geckos right now. So
Yeah.
that's what that seems like what everybody wants is Black Knights. And yeah, it's just I mean I would like a pair, but
Yeah, they're pretty
I
pricey.
just yeah.
Oh, wait. AJ's here, but not here. What's up, AJ?
Where? Oh
In the chat.
yeah,
He's
what's
in the
up?
chat.
AJ.
AJD.
Represent I'm representing for you, buddy.
Oh yeah. So for those who don't know,
Missed you.
AJ's out today. He's working on some house stuff, and he was tried to make it, but he was unable. Um, so we miss you, AJ, but you're here with us, and so
Oh.
yeah.
Oh look, my sister my wife is my wife is in there wanting to see your
Oh,
crocodile
okay.
skink.
Yeah. Here, let me
So
show you these
here's
crocodile things.
so this
Have
is
you ever had some, Brian?
so this is a story. So we've had bearded dragons when we first like moved in together.
Yeah.
And during that time, what happened? Oh, we were watching Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones, like with the dragons and stuff. So then you saw like the trends of the red eye
Yep.
crocodile skinks. Everybody's
Yep.
like, "Oh my god, they look like dragons!" And oh, Game of Thrones. So she's like, "Oh, I want one so bad." I'm like, I don't think so. I don't really want them. They don't really do it for me. But they're cool. They
Dude,
do look like they look like mini dragons,
they're
man.
so
It
cool. So
does look like a
yeah, this one, the other one that I not other one in the bin right now that has even bigger fins.
oh yeah.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, these things are cool, but they're always hiding. That's a downside. You rarely see them. They're always hiding, buried in the substrate or in the cork
Mhm.
bark or whatever, and so that's a bad thing about it. So
Are they nocturnal?
yeah, I believe they are. They come out, and so sometimes I'll turn on the lights and I'll see them in the bath, the little
Mhm.
water bin, and then
Mhm.
I see them eating sometimes at night, and so
Oh,
they're
that's cool.
yeah, they
So
run
they
away
need
though.
UVB or no?
That I haven't put any UVB on them. Whoever I bought them from said, "Nah, you don't need to do anything." I'm like, okay.
Probably
Yeah.
not the way to get animals.
Yes, yes.
So
You
everybody should research animals
do your research.
before. Do
So
your
the
research.
skinks were definitely an impulse buy. I bought it at I think it was the Anaheim show last year.
Mhm.
It was which is funny. A chameleon breeder they were selling them. I guess
Oh,
they had a
yeah.
pair, and I was like, the kids wanted it, so that was an impulse buy for sure. But they are cool. So
Yeah. Nice, man. Nice.
Elaine says they like to hide a lot. Yep, that is very
Oh,
true.
hey Elaine. What's
What's up,
going on?
Elaine? Yeah.
I see
Uh,
Flexi in here. Flexi's in here.
where's Flexi at? Oh yeah, Flexi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's always good. Okay, let me see. Let me throw up a question, and then
All
we
right.
can keep chatting. So
Yeah, let's talk, man. We'll talk about some current events of what's going on in this hobby lately,
yeah,
right? Because I guess that's what these lives are good about because if you have these like every so because everything, the hobby's changing really fast, like
yeah,
rapidly. Like one week it's something and then next week it's something else. So thoughts on
yeah.
how slow the cap market is and how much they are worth compared to asking.
Yeah. So caps in general,
Uh,
we can talk about caps. This is a good topic.
all right. So I will talk about in terms of being slow. I don't know if slow meaning like being able to move caps. So the problem with caps now is so caps has been around forever. And just only within the last few years, they maybe 4 or 5 years when RCK discovered that it was incomplete dominant gene because of superform. So Reptiles by Mac, one of the largest reptile wholesale distributors in the world, was the one who was distributing these.
Yeah.
So there were caps everywhere. You can get a cap at a Petco, a PetSmart, any local pet shop, mostly pet stores. So people were doing cap hunting, and what the only difference was being able to identify the cap and being able to prove it out to make sure that it was an actual cap by producing a super cap. So once the super cap information came out that they weren't exactly the healthiest of animals. They have small nostrils and the spectacle eye would fill up with fluid and they would get inflamed, and that's probably due to the lack of oxygen from the small nostrils. And they just didn't look like very nice looking. It didn't look like a
Yeah.
crested gecko.
When did
If
the
you
first super caps come out? Because since they've been out for so long, I'm sure
What were we in
there has to have
2023?
been super caps before. They just hit
Oh
them.
yeah, and those
People were
were
just
like
hiding them.
no, people
Oh.
were not just. I remember people were just saying those are bad animals. Like that's an
Mm,
unhealthy animal. Like
mm.
people would post it and be like, "Oh no, that's an unhealthy animal. You shouldn't breed those pairs again." So
Yeah.
people wouldn't
Yeah.
breed it again because you bred an animal and then you got something that had no crest, which crested geckos are known for.
Yeah.
They had black eyes and their skin looks like translucent, and until probably like 4 or 5 years ago, 2019 now. I say about 2019 probably is when Don 19 or 20 is when Don discovered that it was actually incomplete dominant gene. So that being said, that after that news came out, you just saw caps going like down and down and down.
Mm.
People weren't trying to breed cap to cap anymore because if you're knowing that you're breeding super caps, you're canceled because you're breeding unhealthy animals. You know how it is. And that's one play. And then we have another one, which of recent, which Korea, which they have millions of caps. They're breeding caps like it's cap factories over there. They have cap
Yeah.
factories.
It's a whole farm, many farms of caps. Yeah.
Yeah, and the way it is they're if people over there aren't buying it, who are they selling to next? They're going to sell to us in the US. So they're trying to everybody's competing against each other. So you'll see we went from I'm going to say what? Last right before the summer, right?
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah.
They were
They're
about
so
10
hot, dude.
grand, right? 10
Yeah, they're
grand
hot.
for
Yeah.
an unsexed animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, I hate to throw out numbers, especially with all the people here, but
Yeah. Let's hear it.
I went on Morph Market today and I saw a cap unsexed for $500.
Yeah, that's nuts. Was it a low quality cap though?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's a
Okay.
it's a low quality cap. You obviously I would say it's a wholesale animal if I were to sell something like that. That's something that even I that's like below wholesale.
Yeah.
So I think the market on caps are not dead. It's not
It's
dead.
not dead.
I don't
They're
think
good
it's dead.
projects, man. I really like them. If done right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've seen some crazy caps,
Oh yeah. Yep.
high white caps with real nice patterns and
Yeah.
dorsals leaking everywhere. And it's just like the cap gene, because the melanin spreads throughout the rest of the body, it like kind of enhances the white and it makes it super bright, which I love, man. If you
Yeah.
get a high
Yeah.
coverage cap, man, that thing's gonna be nuts.
Yeah. I mean, even Korea has some caps that are tricolored with high white, and
Hmm.
man, it's amazing. They look amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
to be honest,
yeah,
the
and
contrast is what it does. The cap gene. Um,
100%.
yeah. So Yeah, just
That
work on those
that
good projects, huh?
that animal, something like that, they're not going to sell that for $500. You're not even going to sell it. That's going to be a couple $1,000 animal still.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so everybody has to take into consideration about animals when it comes to like a gene. That you can't judge a gene in totality as like a group, because it's like a lily white, right? A low end lily white, low expression lily white. You're going to sell it for like 250, $300, right? That's going to be on the low end.
yeah.
But a high end lily white, what are you going to get? You see three,
Oh yeah,
$4,000, and
yep,
they still sell at that number. So,
yeah. I agree.
so you got to look at it
Yeah,
like that too. So it's not like, oh man, just because there's a cap, I'm not paying anything over $1,000 because I can get a cap on Morph Market for X amount of money,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yep.
so
Just like anything
definitely,
else, like even a nice tricolor, it's still over $1,000.
yep.
You know, up to $2,000. And so I believe that's it's going to be like that with the caps. But the problem is it's like so flooded. Everyone has like random caps, a lot of low
Hmm.
quality caps. But I think they can work on producing better quality ones for sure. So
Yeah. So this is kind of like what I would add on to like anybody who is a new breeder and watching this, and who will watch this later on. So new breeders, I listen, I get a lot of new breeders message me, and I probably mentor a good amount of people now, because a lot of people try to get some mentorship from other breeders,
yeah,
and a lot of big breeders, they just don't take the time to really talk to somebody that's starting out, because I could understand you're overwhelmed with so many messages all the time. I take the time and I talk to as many people as I can. I do have a lot going on in my life, so I don't want people to think that I'm ignoring them, but when I get a chance, I'll try to talk to them.
why you leave me on
So
read all the time, Brian?
I, I mean, I do that with few people, only because like they always message me at the wrong times. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
putting my kids to bed,
Oh,
or
nah. Same.
something, or I'm eating dinner. I'm like, all right, and then I was
Yeah,
like, and then so much goes on that I forget that. Oh man, I got that message I have to go back to.
yeah,
But so before I go too far, I just want to say that don't buy so many animals. It's not about collecting as many animals. It's not Pokemon. Don't collect as many as you can. It's
yeah,
you want to get the best animals you can, because those are what's going to retain value,
yeah,
because no matter what, later on, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, 5 years down, let's say five, I don't want to say 10, 5 years down the line, that animal, because it's so high quality, you're still going to make money on that animal, because it's just something that people want. You don't want the low end stuff, man. You can get at a I can go to a reptile show and get for like 100, $200.
you can find some
You
on
know,
Craigslist. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, don't expect you're gonna spend $400 on an animal and you're gonna make thousands of dollars. No, that's not gonna happen.
yeah. Yeah, I agree, Preston. Treehouse has some nice ones. Hopefully, we're having Janine on in a month or so. I'm trying to schedule it with her so we can
J-
talk more about that. But
Janine's my favorite.
cap
Favorite,
wrap,
right? Yeah,
cap wrap
she
breeder. Yeah,
that tuxedo line is just it's so crispy, man. And
it's clean.
and the best part about it, so Janine's a very good breeder, and I talk to Janine and we're friends, and we're all friends.
Hmm.
So she you can see the effort she puts into that line. So it's not like she just breeds anything. She collects really nice animals to breed into the line. So she's definitely, that's why she's one of the best.
Yeah, her stuff is good. Yeah, yeah. AJ and I share a cap with together from Janine that we got from Tinley, so we're excited to work that in. It's growing. It's almost ready to breed. But yeah, excited to work with it for sure.
Robbie, nope, dots on pattern.
No, oh man,
All
yes.
right.
Uh,
So that's a I you know what, Robbie, that's a touchy subject. All
yeah,
right. So I get it. Me, Harry, right?
yep,
We
yep, yep.
don't like spots on pattern. We
Correct.
don't
I
like
do
it. We
have
all
some animals with it.
yes.
Yeah, unwanting.
And
I didn't want it, but
and
yeah,
some animals just, even though they do have spots, like you'll see like a freaking sick ass white covered animal with like one or two spots. You know what? You can't negate the fact that that's still a beautiful animal.
yeah,
And
yeah, for sure.
I guess,
Yeah,
I guess, yes, having spots is bad, but I don't think it should be like, all right, just because this got spots, it should be only worth like a wholesale animal. It should go based as per animal how nice it is. So
Yeah, you can. I'd like
yeah,
to see someone do like pattern spots,
I
spots
see
on pattern animals. I think
like
Noah
a
works
nice
on that.
yeah, Noah's
Yeah,
doing that. I
a
yeah.
good amount of people work on that, and I think yeah, respect to them if they're as they're kind of continue to make it awesome. So no hate on them, but obviously some people don't like it, which is fair too. So
Robbie, not everybody.
Robbie's not
Robbie, not
Robbie's always taking
everybody's not Robbie. Everybody's not like you, man.
Robbie, funny guy. Yo, what's up, Dennis? Gecko Gallery.
Oh,
Good to have
thank
Dennis.
you, thank you. That's my little aquascape here.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Okay. Hold on. Next question here. All right, Exantic market. This one's a good one.
So that's another thing. It's very similar to the cap market. I mean, the Exantic market has sustained a very good value for a long time, right? So
Yes.
we're I mean, just 2 years ago, it was roughly $6,000 to $7,000 for unsexed, and then last year we jumped to about 12,000, 13,000 for unsexed.
Adrian, probably the number one spot hater.
So
sorry. Just keep going, Brian. Keep going.
yeah, so I mean, right now, what do we see average in Exantics right now? If you're to go on Morph Market, I would say average is between the $9,000 and $10,000, right?
Yeah, currently we have some at 8,500 up to 12 grand, but I think none of those, most of those aren't selling. I mean, we're
They're
watching
not
We're watching
selling.
the market. Like you and I, Brian, and I think a bunch of us are really good at keeping an eye on the market, and yeah, they're not going to sell. I think 8,500 maybe, but it's definitely
Yeah.
slowing down for sure. Yeah.
It's slowing down. It's just something everybody has to take into consideration. I mean, the het females are still freaking popping. Like you still can't really get a het female. Have you been able to see? Have you seen het females even for sale?
No. Yeah.
So
No.
I think it depends. I mean, Exantic market, I think it's going to level off this year, where it's going to be at a
Gotcha.
steady. You're seeing it drop now, and it's going to hit apart, and it's going to go steady, and then it'll kind of go straight. You also have to think in consideration that there's going to be more Exantics available this year. Look at how many
Yeah,
people
I
got
agree.
into the Exantics two years ago. A lot of people got into the
Yeah.
Exantics 2 years ago. So
Yeah.
those are all the people breeding it this year. So everybody just needs to keep up with it and see what's going on. So
Yeah, it's gonna start flooding a little bit. It's already flooding a little bit, so the prices are dropping, and it's gonna continue to there be more available for sure.
yes,
I mean, I got one last year, and it's growing. It's gonna hopefully breed this year. AJ has one, and so yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot more Exantic babies, but hopefully the value will still hold a decent amount back to
Mhm.
what 2 years ago was it like 6,500 5 to
Yeah, and I
5,000.
think it definitely will. I think it definitely. I mean, it'll definitely be in the higher. I think it actually. We're getting close to what it's going to be, but summertime is really, yeah, Phantom. They are. The summertime is really going to be really. We'll find out where Exantics are selling at, because that's when
Yeah.
everybody's going to be start selling their unsexed animals. I mean, how many people are we going to see listing freaking Exantics hatching out of the eggs on Morph Market? Hey, I just hatched this Exantic yesterday for
That's true.
sale.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it up for sale now, and then when it's ready to ship, I'll ship it to you. Like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's holding back and hoarding. Yeah. What's up, Kevin? Kevin's on
Yeah, and
Brian's
also,
side.
and as like we talked about with the cap gene, same thing with Exantics. High end Exantics are gonna go for higher than the just plain Exantic. So
Yeah, agree. Yeah.
we
Yeah, you can
can't
make some
just
nicer Exantics, some
yeah.
spotted Exantics, maybe less value, less
Yeah.
valuable.
We're gonna
Yeah.
send all Robbie spotted Exantics. Robbie, you want a spotted Exantic?
Yeah. What is a chocho? Yeah. What is a chocho, Brian? Some people
uh
don't know a chocho. Someone asked about that as well.
Chocho is something bred in Korea by who is the breeder? I can't remember off the top of my head. I was just talking about this. We were talking about this last time.
Yeah.
But I mean, does anybody know that if it's a trait or not? Is it what is it?
We
It's
don't
not
know yet.
nobody knows
Show
if
is
it's
unproven.
yeah, it's not a trait.
Robbie says
Okay, yeah.
Sensical. Yeah. I don't know how
Yeah,
to say
so
his name properly, but
yeah, it's not until somebody determines if it's definite trait, if it's recessive. I think did they say it was they're trying to say first they said it was incomplete dominant, they went to recessive, so nobody knows.
yeah. We need AJ for this. Maybe he knows more. But yeah.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. You know who knows? Sunju. Actually,
Sanju. You should ask
Sunju
him.
doesn't. Sunju doesn't even know.
Nobody knows. We're all guessing.
Nobody knows.
Chatty, we're gonna have Chatty on soon. EBs are gonna take over the world. Chat has some nice empty backs going. He's excited
Mhm.
about that. We'll talk about that later too. So yeah, anything else on the Exantic market and Exantics
No.
in general?
Oh yeah.
I
See,
think
fire. So Kevin from Fireside said he hasn't produced another. Yeah. I mean, it could be just another. What do you mean? Pangea's.
yeah, the pied, not the pied,
Patient
but
zero. Patient
yeah,
zero. Could be
the
like
skin
that.
trait. Yeah, the one off. AJ says still being determined how it works. Can you post a pic of it? I'll look for it as we keep chatting. But okay, let's ask this one, Brian.
Oh, the most popular crested gecko morph. I mean, this is a opinion question, man.
This is
Like,
opinion.
does this
spotted
wait? Let me ask you a question.
spotted
So,
tries.
is it whatever I say on the Gecko Pod is what it will be? Because then I'll just push whatever. I'll just say whatever I want it to be at this point, man. I'm gonna say
Spotted tries.
yellows. Yellows are gonna be the most popular gecko in the hobby 2023. Let's make yellows popular. Let's go.
Yeah. There you go, Kevin.
Love it.
Yellow.
Love it.
Full stop.
Yeah. No,
Here's Olivia. High white
I don't know,
yellows.
man. It's gonna be crazy, man. This is gonna be a crazy year, actually. It's something
Brindle
that
twins.
I I'm actually looking forward to this year because there's
Oh,
so much going on and so many people going all over the place. We got sables are gonna be really released more into the hobby this year.
Mm.
People with caps are gonna be making really nice caps. Fraps, I love fraps. Fraps are still pretty one of my favorites to see, man. I love fraps, man. Anything with Lily White, pretty much. Any
Yeah.
combo with
Yeah.
Lily White is my favorite.
I love lily whites. Yeah. I mean, besides AJ stuff, AJ's high white stuff that got me in, and
Mhm.
plus the lily whites is another one. It's just there's so much you can do with it, and it looks so cool. The way that it's obvious, the pattern's so obvious. It makes
Yes.
the contrast. That white, so good.
It's just so nice. Anything with Lily White, man. I think
I love
but this
lily
year
white.
we got a lot going on, man. I
There's a
like
lot. Yep.
red phantom portholes. Like we just saw one breeder was posted for sale and pretty much sold all the red phantom portholes within less than 5 minutes.
Is
Everything
it
that was
Rockstar?
listed. Rockstar, yeah.
Rockstar, yeah. Rockstar's known for their red ports.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's I think we were talking to AJ and he's saying now is such a good exciting time because of all these new morphs coming in and things to work on and stack and
Mhm.
so it's kind of like the leopards, right? There's so much you can stack and work on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but Cresties
I
is
mean,
more of a
the
yeah, it's
hobby,
more interesting.
so I like how the hobby shifted recently within the last couple of years. Like you can see like now everybody's got this another mentality on how to breed cresteds instead of just like, all right, I'm just gonna breed a yellow to yellow, a red to the red, a dark to a dark, a pinstripe to a pinstripe. So now people are starting like, hey, let me think outside the box. I'm gonna start breeding different stuff together because I want to achieve something different. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of breeders now are starting to get that idea. So, which is really good, man. I think we're finally moving into a direction where we're going to be really up there in the reptile industry. You know, we're
Yeah.
crested geckos are just amazing stuff. So,
Agreed, man. Agreed. It's so exciting. The market's super exciting.
Red
How,
tricolors on the market.
red tries. How do you foresee the sable market? Oh, that one is to be TBD.
Yeah,
TBD.
man,
That one is tough.
that's too
That one is-
much of. I mean, I'll touch on it a little bit. I'll just
yeah.
say, with sables now, like what do you think? Like, it's so new, right? It's so new. It's just something just so new to us that we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know. Do you like? It's just a lot of.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
It's a-
speculation.
Right.
Speculation.
I think I mean, yeah,
It's
it's touchy right now because I think of Korea obviously has most of the sables, and then over here in the US, we're trying to work things out in terms of what that market looks like, and not a lot of people have them, so I think it's
wait.
still pretty touchy.
Did Kevin just say high end frap?
No, that was earlier when we were talking about
Oh,
the
I
best,
want. I was. I
the
want to
best
call
to work
him
with.
out on that, man.
Why for what? No, he was just talking. Well, for what?
I remember he didn't like the cap gene.
Oh, we love Kevin.
I love you, man. Love you, man.
Yeah.
But remember that. Remember what you said before.
Yeah.
Dark patternless, huh? I don't know about that, man. I don't want everybody's
Dark
everybody's
pattern.
trying to scoop them up. So AJ needs to be on a little hush hush over here. You know what I'm saying?
High whites. Yeah, high whites. Yeah, pretty
Empty
awesome.
back, man. Empty back.
Empty backs are
Everybody loves
cool.
empty backs.
Yeah.
Phantom lilies all
Reds.
day.
Kenny with the reds.
Little
EBs are
beastie.
creeping up in interest. Fraps are about to be all over the place. Yeah, I agree with that. There's gonna be a lot
Wow,
of
we got
fraps.
53 people in here. That's freaking great.
Yeah, that's cool. That's exciting, man. That's exciting. Gecko nerd tangerine lines. Dude, I love how everyone's excited about various things. Yeah, put down
Yeah,
in the
this
comments what you guys like. I think it'll be good to look back on later on and see where everyone's at with it.
yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody I feel like there's trends, and there's also going to be the people who always want to get something else.
There
I'm,
you, Kevin.
I'm messing with you, Kev. I'm messing with you, Kev.
Kevin, we'll we'll work on some fraps together. That's awesome.
Don't worry, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the likes up, people. All right, what's the next
Next
question
one?
we got?
Next one. All right.
How much
What
time
size
we got till
enclosure?
the next guest comes on?
Our next guest will jump on in a few minutes, and then
Okay.
but until then, we'll just keep rolling with Q&As. What size enclosures do you guys use for adult cresties? Depends. Huh, Brian? What do you say? What would you say?
I'll let. What do you think first? You since you're this
Yeah.
is like you've been on this a lot. You've been on. I mean, this is episode what 21,
Is it
and
21? Yeah,
yeah,
21
and
and
you've been here for you've been in the hobby for about over 2 years, around
Yeah,
3 years,
a
three.
little over one. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
it's still pretty new.
so I mean, I see you have some beautiful cages behind you. So what do you
Right.
think?
Yeah. So, so just in talking with a lot of different breeders, and obviously talking with AJ and you, Brian, like we have a lot of these nice enclosures for adult cresties. We also have bins, right? Bins because obviously if you have all these enclosures and you have like hundreds of adults, it'll be hard. It's all about the space, right? If everyone could fit in an enclosure, I think that'd be awesome. But because of the space and we're limited on the space, some of my adults are in bigger bins, and I keep them in bigger bins, and they do well. They actually eat better, in my opinion, in some of these bins. And
Bins
I've
hold a
seen,
lot humidity a lot better
yep,
than a tank,
yep,
man.
yep. So I feed Pangea, uh, Gecko diet, Rapashi, whatever you use, and bugs to my adults, and they eat them a lot better in the bins just because it's easier to find. That's my
Yeah.
experience. That's what I've seen in the last year. That's me, but obviously some people might differ, and that's okay. So, how about you, Brian? Do you use both things as well?
Yeah, so although this is a controversial topic, because you'll especially on Facebook, you'll have people who will tell you that there's a certain minimum size that is required for adult crested gecko. Like I
Yeah.
remember if you weren't using 18, 18, 24s as a minimum, you are canceled. You should be going to jail because you are animal cruelty. I mean, 18, 18, 24 is a big cage, man. They
It's
like
big. Yeah.
the crested gecko doesn't even know what to do with 18, 18, 24 at that
I
point. Like,
I have two of those, right? Two exoteros of that. I have two big geckos in there, but it's a lot of space. I don't think they.
and
It's a lot of
they
space.
like kind of get lost and they can't find the food. And so back to when I was going from, I did 32 quart tubs before. I was doing 32
Yeah.
quart tubs and for a single adult. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do the tubs anymore. I mean, don't like I use tubs and I don't, it's not that I don't like them. It was the fact that cleaning and maintaining them was a lot harder because I would have to pick one up, take off the lid, next one, pick one up,
Yeah.
pick up the lid. So it's a lot of work. It was very time consuming.
Yeah.
So that's when I got the focus cubes, and the focus cubes. Actually, before that, I went to 10-gallon tank conversion kits. Didn't hold the
Mhm.
water, the humidity well at all. Glass tanks suck. So I was like, I got to go PVC. And I like everything uniformed. So I like everything uniformed, neat, and looking nice. So I went to Focus Cubed, and I wanted to get PVC. So actually, I was going shopping around. So I was looking at most of the options for condos were 12, 12, 18s. So 12, 12, 18s. Not saying that that's not too small, because
Yeah.
I think as a breeder, so this question, this is just speaking on breeder specific, not like a hobbyist or like like somebody just keeping crested geckos, not breeding them and just having it for fun.
Yeah.
So 1818, so those are grow outs. Those are my
These are
grow
grow
out.
outs.
Those
Yeah.
are
Let me
grow
find your
outs.
focus.
So 1818, that you're gonna have to scroll down.
Oh,
1818. So I
I'll
went,
scroll down.
the 12
Keep
12
talking.
18s were two were weren't I wanted to try a little bit bigger, so I decided to go 12, 18, 18. So a little bit depth. So I had 6 inches deeper than uh than the 12, 12, 18s. And Focus Cube was like, hey, listen, yeah, we can do a 12, 18, 18. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me get in on that. So I bought 50 of those, well, 48 of those cages, and I love them, man. Yeah, those are it.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, for the females, they love it, man. I think they utilize all the space, and they get good amount of room, and they find the food well. They hold the humidity well.
Yeah.
So I think minimum 12, 12, 18 an adult, 32 quarts on tubs. So that would be my answer as a breeder. Because if you were to do 18, 18, 24s or 56 quart tubs for single animals, adults, man, your space would run out so fast.
Yeah.
So I think those are probably what I would do. That's what I my suggestion. I'll probably
Yeah.
get canceled
Yeah.
for that too,
No,
right?
no, it's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Feel free to feel free to comment, guys, on what you guys do. I think it's interesting to see what everybody uses, and yeah, we just learn from each other. Like, I don't think it's about canceling. I really think it's just we're all just kind of learning and trying to
Yeah.
figure it out together. And so the more we kind of pool our knowledge and what everyone uses
Yeah.
together, the more we'll just be like, hey, maybe you can work on this one, or how is this working? And so, um, yeah. But yeah, the bins work well for me. These enclosures are from Herp Cult. Um, there's no advertisement. Tim, where's
You're
my
getting
discount?
sponsorship.
We have zero.
Sponsorship.
AJ and I have zero sponsors because we want to do whatever we want, and we don't want to be tied down to anything.
This
Um,
episode is sponsored by roundvents.com.
yeah,
Get your
awesome.
round vents for your tubs at a great price.
Yeah, straight to jail,
Straight to
says
jail. I'm
Lexi.
going to jail, man. Here we go. Cuff me up.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, so we have our first guest. We want to jump in, and we want to talk about some new breeders. So we've been wanting to highlight some new slash up and coming breeders, because I know a lot of people that are new watch our podcast. I am new. I'm only a year ish in,
Hmm.
and a lot of these new breeders have been in the game even longer than I have, right? And so new is relative, but it's just about how can we highlight and spotlight some of these people that have been doing an awesome job with what they're doing. And so our first guest, we have Tyler from TC Geckos. Let me pull you up, Tyler. Give me 1 second.
Oh, he's on, ready?
He's on and ready to roll. Let me
This is
pull
going to be
these.
exciting because I never met him.
Oh yeah, okay.
Never seen
Hey,
him.
what's up, Tyler?
Hey,
What's
what's
up, guys? How
going
you guys
on, man?
doing?
Tyler, this
How
is
you doing?
Brian. Brian, this is Tyler.
Hey, Tyler,
What's
man.
up, Brian?
You
you
know
doing,
what?
man?
I didn't even know your name was Tyler until yesterday.
Most people don't know my actual name, man. I don't really put out a whole lot about myself on.
Oh
on
man,
social
it's
media,
all right.
So.
Now you're in the interwebs. Everyone will
I know.
you.
I mean,
suck me in, Harry.
You
Yeah,
really
man.
should. I always tell people when you're into now in today's environment, we should, like, as a breeder, you kind of got to put yourself out there, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. You're right.
people, like, they want that connection between you. Like, if I'm buying an animal from somebody, I want to, like, get to know that person, kind of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hope this
Well,
is I hope this is the
that's-
beginning.
That's one of the things I'm the worst at, man. Like I think I've been to probably, in terms of like shows, just going to them, not even vending. I've maybe been to 4.
Oh,
total.
really?
Okay.
Yeah.
You vended shows too, right, Tyler?
Been where?
You vended shows. You vended a couple shows.
I've piggybacked off a good friend of mine.
Okay. Yeah. That
So
counts,
I basically he's got
Yeah.
a table. I can't commit the time to do it every month even.
Yeah.
So he's got the table, and he lets me piggyback off him whenever I have time and can.
Yeah.
So I've vended twice. I'm vending this coming weekend, so that'll be my third time.
Nice,
So,
man. Yeah, Tyler.
Yep.
So we've been chatting back and forth for a good
I
amount of time.
I caught the last like 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, you and I have been chatting.
Brian's getting canceled for 2 smaller cages. That's about when I came in.
Yeah. No, we've been chatting. I mean, like, in DMs, like for several months.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's how you and I know each other. Yeah, give us I know you have to go to work soon, right? So
I don't have to leave till about 9, but yeah.
okay, so we have you for a little bit, but give us a rundown of who you are, how long you've been breeding, what's your collection look like, and I know you're big on like bioactives and doing really nice enclosures. So give us the beginning snapshot.
I'll put a caveat: if there's any frog people on here, just get off now, because my bioactive, you guys will be disgraced on. So if you're a frog person, please just leave. No, so I've been keeping this time around since 2014, beginning of 2014, end of 2013, something like that. It's about 9 years.
Oh, that's quite a while. Yeah, you're nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been breeding this will be my 6th season breeding right now, 2023. My collection's all over the place, man. I have a
that's gonna be Harry.
Yeah, I have a very small collection. I mean, I have right now, I think I have 39 geckos, including grow outs and some that I have for sale and stuff like that. But that's over 4 species. I have Urdactyloides viardi. I've got Chahua. I've got Paragargs, and then Cresties. Obviously, is the bulk of what I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, man. I don't want to say I get bored easy, but I like the difference in the species. Yet since they're all from the same place, it's very easy in terms of, I don't have 4 different. I don't have 4 different rooms to have, a room that's super hot, a room that's cooler. Like my dart frogs, most of my dart frogs don't even stay in the same room as the geckos because they need it cooler.
Yeah.
Right. So
fortunately,
I just have those out on a stand where like where all my stuff's in the basement, but where like my girls' playroom is, and like the TV and workout and stuff like that. And all my other stuff is actually in the room I'm currently in right now, which is geckos / storage.
Nice.
So
nice, man.
Yeah.
So where you're from? Where, like, what state?
I live in a suburb of Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, so nice.
I'm about 20 minutes north of Columbus. So yeah, we've lived here for 6.5 years, I think, something like that. 6.5, 7 years.
So pretty much when you started breeding is when you moved there.
Yeah. So we lived in Tennessee before I was in the military. Lived in Tennessee, and then
Thank you for
we
your
moved.
service, by the way.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
appreciate it. Moved up here to be closer to my wife's family, and I happened to get a job up here, so we moved up here. And it was shortly after that I was like, all right, I basically I was like, I'm in a pretty good stable career choice in terms of like I have my big boy job now, and so that's when I decided, like, okay, I'm gonna start breeding. And
Nice.
I had kept for, like I said, for probably 3-ish years before that. And that was mainly just I had thought about breeding, but I was just never. We were pretty transient. I mean, we were moving every 3 years, so it was. I didn't want the hassle of that with moving all the time with breeding. So I was like, I kept putting it off. And when we finally moved here, and it was going to be, I mean, we'll probably stay here at least 25 years. I was like, all right, now I can dive into it, and I can get something set up and not have to tear it down every 3 years. So
Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. So I
Exciting,
know
man.
you said this time around. So were you into reptiles previous then from this time around, this set?
So as a kid, I
Oh, okay.
kept. So I grew up in the country. So I mean, I kept a lot of things that I caught, which I know is like a no-no, but you know, I was a kid. And then I had bought some reptiles from like PetSmart or whatever. Unfortunately, back then, the access to information was not as good, especially like we didn't have internet. We didn't have internet growing up, right?
Nope, I
So
remember that. Yep.
so for me,
Let's
I couldn't
go to
hop
the
on and
library.
right. So unfortunately, some of those didn't live as long as they should have, as long as their expected life, right? But luckily, when I got back in at this time, I had access to the internet. I was able to do proper research. I was also not a child, so
Huge difference, man. Makes the hobby so much better.
Yeah, and I will say, for people whose kids want to get into it, support them, but do the research yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then fact check your kids. I mean, I have a 2.5 and a 5.5-year-old that help me with Gecko chores, right? And my 2.5-year-old is able to do a majority of it by herself. You know, there's some spilled food and stuff like that always, and my 5.5-year-old can pretty much do it all herself at this point. So kids can definitely. I mean, I posted a picture, I think it was yesterday, of both of the 2.5 and the 5.5-year-old holding Iridactyloides viardi, which I'm sure there's people out here who are going to say I'm the devil for doing that, because they're fragile, and you know, the girls shouldn't be holding, you know, that small of animals. But if you teach them from a young age, they are able to adapt and treat them with respect, and it also teaches them some patience and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm in the same boat. My son's about to be 4 and my daughter's about to be 2. So I got these scorpion-tailed geckos, and they're very, very small. They're actually smaller than the Urodactylodes.
Yeah.
And I both of them are holding it. And my daughter, she's, you know, I just got to teach her. Like in the beginning, she was like getting a little bit like excited, but you know, you just calm them down and like, listen, no, like, and then she respects it. She respects the animal, and that's all you have to do.
And I think it teaches them so much outside of just, you know, reptile keeping. It teaches them so much, like I said, the patience that they have to learn. Yep. It's fantastic. So support your kids if they want to do it, but do the research.
Yes, sir. Tyler,
you do the research.
Tyler, I know you know, we were talking about enclosures for our adults and bins and whatnot. What do you use? And I know you're a big proponent on having nice enclosures, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started with bins like a lot of other people did. Or actually, I guess my very first one, when it was just a pet, was an Exoterra. And then I went to bins when I started breeding. And then I decided that I didn't, for me, it wasn't, you know, bins hold humidity really well.
Yes.
So, you know, in the winter here, it's always a battle because it's dry. So the bins worked really well for that. But one of the things that I didn't like with the bins, that, you know, another kind of controversial topic, I use UVB for all my animals.
Yes.
And I've discussed with many people how
nice
new
cages,
cow species don't need Thank you, man.
Yeah,
They
Tamara,
don't
right?
they don't need. Some of them are Tamara, some of them are DW.
Okay. Yeah, sorry,
So
keep
okay.
cutting off. Go ahead.
the two larger ones are Tamara. The other ones are DW geckos. I bought those years ago.
The
My two
top
newest
ones, right?
are
The top ones are DWs.
no, all those behind me are DWs. All those in
Oh,
that
okay.
video are DWs. The two that I have that are 18, 18, 36, those are Tamara.
Okay. Those are nice, man.
Wow.
Those are killer.
So
What do you
with
keep
the
in the
tubs,
1836? Sorry. Are
Chihuahua.
they?
You're good.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Chihuahuas.
So right
Nice.
now I have a single Chihuahua in each. Eventually it'll be a pair in each.
Mhm.
Okay.
I get you can go smaller. So, and I want to make it clear I'm not like villainizing anyone who has
No.
smaller cages. The key, because I heard you say it, Brian, that sometimes the animals can have a hard time finding the food, stuff like that. And I think where a lot of people run into issues is they'll get a bigger cage and they'll throw in basically the same amount of decor as they would in a smaller cage, and that
Mhm.
doesn't work. Your animal's going to be scared. It's not going to feel secure, and that's a lot of people use smaller caging with the theory of, it makes the animal feel more secure, which is true. But also, if you set up the cage properly, you can make them feel just as secure. They just have more room to move around.
Yeah.
Um, and
So just
I've
like
seen,
increase like cork bark, more
yes,
plants, more foliage, more climbing stuff, sticks, branches, and stuff like that.
Absolutely, man. And if you have glass cages, I suggest putting something on all three sides minus the front, so that way they can't see other
Yeah.
things, right? Because that stresses. They see another gecko, it stresses them out. If it's a male seeing another female, that stresses them out because he wants to get to that female to breed.
Yep.
If it's two males, they're going to want to fight. Like it, they do need to be secluded to an extent, visually, but then also just adding all that other stuff for them to move around. I mean, my Chihuahua that are in the 1836 right now, like I said, it's just a single one in each.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I see them from the floor all the way up to the very top throughout different times of day and stuff
No
like
problem
that.
feeding, huh?
No problems feeding. I mean,
Cool.
I will say so. I free feed crickets in mine.
Okay.
I don't tongue feed. I like to let them get that
Instinctual,
that
like
hunt,
hunting.
yeah, that hunt in, yeah, which also makes them move around, right? Which makes them. A lot of my geckos are not fat because I don't want to say I force them. That sounds horrible. I allow them to hunt, which forces them to move, right? If you want to eat,
Yeah.
you got to move.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, their Pangea doesn't move, so they can
No,
always.
I was gonna say.
they can
I was like,
always-
do you have your Pangea on like something, a robotic circulator, so
It's
they have
on
to
a
keep
rope, man,
moving
and
to
I
eat?
Yeah.
Teaching them
Yes.
life lessons.
Exactly.
Yeah, work for your food.
You gotta work for your food.
Exactly. So I have found that especially in the bigger cages, there's crickets in there from a week ago, right? That just they haven't found or that haven't been able to hunt down yet. But also when you're using bioactive and you have a large enough cage, those crickets aren't going to attack and harm your gecko. Which because that is a concern, right? If you have them in a tub with paper towels and it's smaller, there's a very good chance that cricket could and might actually start chewing on your gecko.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, regardless of the price of your gecko, you don't want that happening. But if you have very expensive geckos, you really don't want that happening, right? Because then
the
it's
cricket will just
an
start
animal and
chewing
it's
on
an
everything
investment.
else.
Right, exactly. So yeah, and that back to the cages. So I originally went away from tubs to go to I went to glass first and then finally PVC just to hold in the humidity better. But because I wanted to use UVB. And like I was saying, I mean, I've had this discussion with a lot of breeders on UVB. There's been people who've done studies and they don't see a benefit. And I was actually talking to somebody the other day, another breeder, in my opinion, a very reputable breeder. So I respect their opinion. And they were saying that they're kind of testing it out right now and they're going to see if they see a difference. And my comment to them, because I always ask other breeders, I'm like, okay, minus the expense, because UVB is expensive and it's a reoccurring cost, right? So, I mean, that you have both sides. You have the initial cost and the reoccurring cost.
Because you got to replace
but
them every 6 months, if depending on the brand.
depending on the brand, and
$20
that's
a
why
bulb.
if you have a large collection, you're going to use UVB. Spend $300 and get a UVB meter so you can test it, because I can tell you most of them will last longer than 6 months.
Yeah, and
So-
I've heard that ones that say that they can last a year don't last even 6 months. Like I
Yeah,
saw somebody made a post on Arcadia's and saying that they're the UV they did the solar meter, and it would like depreciate it so quickly.
Well, and I find that, you know, different bulbs also will last different lengths,
Yeah.
regardless of the brand, right?
Yeah.
And it could be a faulty bulb or, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
that
That's
too,
why
yeah.
that solar meter is really, if you're going to have, especially a larger collection where you're spending some serious money on UVB, spend the $300, buy a UVB meter, and you'll know then for sure when you have to replace them.
Yeah, that makes it better than just like, oh, all right, 6 months time, I gotta do it, because you can be throwing out a good bulb
Yeah.
for no reason, and you're wasting
Yeah,
money.
Yeah,
Makes
I mean, these
sense.
are $30-$40 a bulb sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
so, or maybe not that. It depends on what size bulb, if you're using T8s, T5s, so on and so forth. But, so yeah, I was talking to him and I told him, I was like, you know, these animals, they do get UVB in the wild, right? They don't burrow and go underground all day. They're in the leaves, so they do get some sort of UVB, and they're not just out at night. Dawn and dusk is when they're the most active. So they are getting some sunlight there. I can't remember the ratio. I'm going to screw this up, but it's something like 15 minutes of sunlight equals like 8 hours with a UVB bulb. I mean, it's an insane difference, because the sun is putting out obviously a lot more.
Yeah, the highest amount of UV
Yeah,
rays.
Yeah, I mean, you're comparing the sun to a man-made bulb. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
But you know, I told him, I was like, you know, I look at it like this, and so my background in terms of, I went to college, was health and human performance, and I told him, I was like, you can have somebody who's overweight but they're healthy, and you can have somebody who's skinny and looks like they're in shape and they eat like crap and they're not healthy. Your visual, what you're seeing is the skinny guy you're going to think is healthy, the heavyweight guy you're going to think is not. So it's the same with geckos. And from my logic, I guess you could say, is I might not see a difference, but I feel like if they're getting it in the wild and I have the ability to provide it, why wouldn't I?
Right.
It's kind
Makes
of my
sense.
mindset.
Definitely makes a lot of sense.
Do you feel like
Yeah.
they produce better? Is there like a, besides the you know, knowing that that's
I've
kind of
only
their natural habitat, do you see anything positive or, you know, advantages of it besides just knowing that it's healthier?
I mean, I've heard other people say, like, you know, their colors pop more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm 100% sold on that, because I've seen geckos, and it's not the same gecko, right? So obviously there's some difference there, but I've seen geckos that I know for a fact have never seen UVB in their life. They're freaking amazing. So I'm like, well, I mean, that gecko didn't need UVB to look beautiful, at least, right? I mean, that thing is gorgeous. And those colors are the most vibrant I've ever seen. So maybe that's not really a benefit in terms of vibrancy and stuff like that. So for me, I mean, you know, I also look at it, and you know, a lot of people use D3, right? And you know, or calcium with D3, and the reason we use it with D3, a lot of people, is it's for indoor. It's because they're not getting UVB. Well, if we have to supplement with something because they're not getting UVB, doesn't that essentially mean they kind of need it to an extent?
Yeah.
It's kind of another thought process of mine, I guess.
It makes a lot of sense. It definitely makes a lot of sense. It's just a lot of, so Crested Geckos has been in the hobby for 25 plus years, right?
Yep.
For the most part, most people have never kept UVB on Crested Geckos up until recently. I'll not say recent. People have been doing it throughout time.
Yeah.
You'll see,
but not
people
consistently and not as a bulk.
Yes. Yeah, people have been doing it. So this is just from others' side's perspective. People have been doing it, and there's people with 20-year-old animals right now have been fine. But yeah, definitely I've seen differences in UVB in fish hobbies and other animals that don't require it as a to keep it,
as a standard.
but they do benefit from it. Like, let's say like something like an arowana, which is a fish, Asian arowana. So UVB draws out the red coloration in them. They become more vibrant and red because of UVB. So that's like a thing that in nature they're super red, but when you get it home in a tank and you don't have UVB, they'll be like pinkish. But if you put UVB on it, the red will come out.
Sure.
So it's like, I mean, humans need we need some UVB once in a while. We got to get it through our skin. So I mean, everything's gonna benefit from it no matter what, regardless if it's a nocturnal animal or not a nocturnal animal.
Yeah.
So
I agree 100%, and that's why, and I also look at it different, right? I have a career that I don't intend on leaving. Geckos will never be my source of income, right? So for me, I mean, there was been points in my breeding career, or whatever you want to call it, where I had to make the decision: am I going to spend money on lighting in cages, or am I going to spend my money on a nicer gecko so I can, improve my lines, blah 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 blah. And I chose the route of caging and lighting because I didn't care about my return on investment. Because cages I don't want to say they're a waste of money, but you will when you buy a cage, you're never getting your money back. Period.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So it's in terms of a business investment standpoint, cages aren't a good. You're not going to get a return on them. But
nope,
I didn't care. I'm a hobbyist. I will always be a hobbyist. I may double in size at some point because once my kids get a little bit older, but that's probably as big as I'll ever get, man. I don't want to turn this into something that'll stress me out. So,
exactly. It's a hobby for a reason. It's a hobby to be fun because you want to do it and enjoy it. Like I mean, I expanded a lot within the last couple of years, and I still enjoy it. So I mean, I maintain it to where it's sustainable, where I'm enjoying it. If I get any bigger, then it doesn't become fun. So as long as I'm having fun, this is because I still work too. I got a full-time job. I work my full-time job. I got another 2.5 years before I can retire. Even if I retire, who knows maybe I'll stay on the job a little longer. But the thing is that this wasn't made for me to become like, this is going to be my business. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. No, it's not. It's just something that I'm just here. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I'm playing. This is not what I looked into for me to leave my job,
Right.
But
exactly.
But I 100% respect you in terms of how much effort you put into the care of your animals. And because
Thanks,
you'll never get that return back. You're never gonna get return. Like I spent $10,000 on just my cages, just my few cages, not even all my cages. But I'll never get that back. But
nope.
it was for me, the animal to have a nice it 100% is.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, I love your setups, man. The uniformity,
Thanks,
I'm big on that too. The uniformity.
There's no UVB though.
Yeah.
They're puck lights
well, hey,
from Amazon.
Listen, I'll be unfollowing him and canceling him
after. Tyler, I know you have to go soon, but any final remarks before we send you off to work, and any promos or plugs, or where can people find you besides Instagram, anything like that?
I want to thank you guys for having me on first. Thanks to AJ. I know he's not here, but I know he's part of this. Thanks to Chad. I heard Chad was kind of told you guys that you guys should have me on, so thank you to him. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it was great, man.
Chatty. Yeah, he'll be on soon.
So yeah, I'm just on Instagram.
Cool.
I do have Morph Market. You can find it in my Instagram. If you're local to Kentucky, especially Northern Kentucky or Ohio, I'll be in Cincinnati this Sunday from 9 to probably, I'm leaving early because of the Super Bowl. So
Super Bowl
if
Sunday.
If you want to see me, you've got to come early because I'm not
okay.
But yeah, minus that, I'm not big on social media. Instagram's pretty much it. So
cool.
Yeah, awesome. That's the way it goes. I got two questions before you leave. One,
all right.
TC Geckos is your name initials, right? TC?
No.
Oh, man.
So kind of. All right, so kind of. So I started this when we only had one child, right? So it's Tyler and Coraline. Coraline's
okay. Oh, I love it. I love it. So that's my thing. I
Mm.
always want to know.
And that's
about
the first
breeder
time I've
how-
ever told anybody that. So
Oh, now everybody
y'all are
knows.
welcome.
Yes. See, I tell Harry this is such a great question. And then the last question: are you going to Flora Fauna?
No.
Oh
Time
man,
meet you in person.
why? We got to meet
Work,
you, man.
Work.
I get it.
Right,
I
right.
get it.
Man, like I said, the only shows I've been to one in Orlando because I was on vacation and I happened to just see my wife was running a race, so I literally went after she ran a race or whatever. The Cincinnati one and then my local one in Columbus. Those are the only ones I've been to. I just unfortunately with my work schedule.
Hopefully one day we will meet in person.
We're gonna meet sometime, Tyler.
I will say Tinley's a more likely avenue because
I'm going in October.
Well, my wife wants to run the Chicago Marathon again, so
nice.
that's the same weekend as Tinley. So I might be able to get her to run that, and I'll just sneak off.
Yeah,
yes. Let's do it.
We'll see you there.
Let's do it, man. I'm looking forward to meeting you, man.
Take care, brother.
Take care, man.
Appreciate you guys. See ya.
Take care. Oh man, Tyler's cool, man. That's the first time talking to him.
Dude. Tyler's a good dude. Oh, we got Tiki's in here.
Yes, Dave.
David wanted to talk about the Gargs red line. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Tyler has a bunch of Gargs too. So
yes,
I think he has some.
Tiki has some of the fire Gargs, man. He's got some crazy
Gargs, right?
He got some crazy morphs that I saw. I mean, everybody who's, I mean, if you're not subscribed to Tiki's Gecko's YouTube, you guys should go there and subscribe now.
Dude, Tiki's has the most followers of everybody. So
yeah, I mean, seriously, like probably everybody that follows you follows.
Everybody knows Tiki. That's funny, but yeah, that was good. Good chatting with Tyler.
Yeah,
Thank you, Tyler, for jumping on. We have our next guest on. Who's our next guest? Who's it gonna be?
Are they ready?
They've been ready. All right, we're gonna throw her on. I'll let you intro her. Okay.
What's up?
Hi.
What's up, Sophia of
Hi, how are
Exotics? How are you? Welcome, welcome to the show.
I'm nervous, but I'm good.
Oh,
why are you nervous?
You're good. It's a chat.
I don't know. I've never been on like a podcast or anything, so.
Oh, you do lives. You do lives on your Instagram. It's the same thing.
That's true. You're right. I do lives.
Same thing. Yeah, you just end with me and Brian.
I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just don't think that there's people in here watching you, and we're just on a video chat. We're just video chatting right now.
It's like a phone call.
That's the best way to think of it. You're right.
Yeah. So, welcome, and
Thank you.
We are here on the Gecko Pod. I'm glad you're here. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself so everybody can get to know? Well, not everybody, because you don't want to know that people are here. So we can get to know, even though I know who you are already, where you're from and what got you started in the hobby and stuff like that.
So it's not only me, it's Alan and I. Alan,
what's up, Alan?
Which Alan isn't here, right?
Yeah, he's here.
Shy.
He's just camera shy, so
tell
he
Alan we
really
said hi
on camera.
Yeah.
So it's just us two, and we run it out of like my grandmother's home. So we live in my I live in my grandmother's house, and and we just run it out of here. So we're in New York, like Brian. So
Brooklyn,
which is funny because I never see Brian, but you know it's okay.
Well, so the problem here is I've invited you here, but you can only come on weekends. And the problem
with the problem. I can't come out there any other days.
Weekends is so bad, you know. When you have if and when you have kids, you will understand weekends are the hardest thing when you're
they are,
like
because everyone's home. But yeah, we live in Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else.
Brooklyn, they got some good pizza over there.
They do. I mean, it's okay.
You have enough space for all your geckos? I know you have a lot of geckos.
I have about more than 50 at this point. We have
wow.
We got a lot coming in. I just don't post a lot of them because some of them are really hard to capture colors, especially with reds.
Yeah.
So
100%.
It's a lot harder to get really good photos of them, or ones that have like odd base colors.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times I have a lot of geckos that I have not shown because I literally cannot get them correct. So I just don't post them. So that's why I'm hoping spring, summertime is good, because then I could actually like take time and post them.
Outdoors.
Yeah, because that's the best way, I guess. even though that's also iffy at this like sometimes.
Mhm.
So it's very hard. But yeah, that's pretty much about the
So
collection size, and we got a bunch coming in too.
Yeah. When did you
so I
start, Sophia?
yeah, that's what I was
Sorry,
gonna
Brian.
ask.
Go ahead.
No,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no.
there you
Go ahead.
So breeding wise, this is our first full year. So we started last January. So
Yeah,
this is
yes.
our first year.
Wow.
But I've had geckos for a few years now. And Alan's always had reptiles when he was little. I was not allowed to keep them, although I always used to like have books of notes with like different species and stuff, just
Yeah,
because I loved
that's
them
cool.
when I was little. But I
Yeah.
was just never allowed to keep them. So that was the unfortunate part. But he always had animals. So he used to get newts from upstate, snakes and stuff like that. So he knew what he was doing as well. So it was kind of like when it came to the time that we were like, let's get some geckos, we were like, okay, well, we know what to do, so why not do it?
Nice.
It
So
was nice.
so I know you keep cresteds, and I know you keep a few other species. I mean, you
Mhm.
want to just tell us what other species you keep on
Yeah.
top of
So
cresteds?
we obviously mostly do cresties. We have a few gargs that we're planning on breeding. Shout out to my friend Hannah from Graveyard Exotics, but she's gonna give us one of our really nice gargs soon. We have ones from Justin from Blood Moon Gex. He has amazing gargs as well, and we have those two that we're gonna pair, and one of our other males and stuff like that. But they're still small, so I can't do anything with them. We have a chewy, we have a day gecko, we have 3 leopard geckos, 1 is a rescue, and then we have 2 hogs and 4 bolt pythons.
Wow. So you
yeah.
just got
good
just
collection
a,
there.
so you got a
Yeah,
lot. So you got a few pet stuff, like mostly. So crested geckos is what you're going to be breeding, and then gargoyles is your secondary, and then everything
yeah.
is else pretty much pet stuff, right? So
So Alan wants to get into bull pythons, not now because they're of course too small. But he
Mhm.
wants to branch out into that, but it's not going to be like our crusty, like
yes,
I guess game we're gonna call it. It's more just like we want to try it a few times and see if we like it. Because it is a lot more complicated than crusties. So
yeah.
we're gonna obviously do a lot more research before we do anything with them, and then that's when we're gonna like try to see what we want to do with that. But most of the breeding pairs are just gonna be crusties and gargs. Oh, and we have 2 leeches. I forgot. I don't know why. I
Oh
forgot.
yeah,
Yeah.
leeches.
Yeah.
I love
We're gonna
leeches.
do a leechy pair.
They're
So-
Do you have leeches on your
they're
page? Let me see.
I don't
You
know
don't,
if I
huh?
posted them. I
are
think
they
I
are
did,
mixed
but a long
locales,
time
or
ago.
do you have are they like Nuami, Nuana, GTs,
Oh, I don't
or
see that.
So I got our female Sakura from
Sakura?
Raspberry Geckos. Yeah.
Oh, I hate
So
Sakura.
she's from Raspberry Geckos. And
She's the
Oh,
worst
raspberry
you
character.
geckos.
know,
Sakura
yeah.
is
Dude,
the worst
where's your
worst
picture of it?
character on
Where is it?
Naruto, by the way.
Nah, man,
Well,
she's so
listen,
cute.
I just liked her because she looked like a cherry blossom. So don't come at me, Brian. Like,
Yeah.
Um,
He likes the
but
red. The
yeah,
red hues.
she's now getting her territorial age, so she's not exactly
Mm.
handleable anymore. And then we have Reptar, who I'm not too sure what he
From
is.
Rugrats.
Yes, that was Alan's
Yeah.
idea. He's just a big.
Are you
giant
old enough
green
to
bug.
watch Rugrats? Did you watch Rugrats before?
No, I did not. I hated Rugrats.
I know, because I know you're young. You're a lot younger than me. I think.
Yeah, I just turned 22, so
Oh,
wow.
you're a
Dude, you're a baby.
I'm a baby.
You're a
Brian and I are
baby.
old. We're like
Yeah,
about to die, pretty much.
we
Oh,
we-
We're dinosaurs.
you can call us grandpas. We're grandpas. No,
Bro,
but it's
like
great, man.
relax now, relax. On grandpas.
I love
Oh
it.
my
I love
goodness.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's
so
exciting.
now you've been doing this for a little over a year, probably like what I met you 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago. I started talking to you, right?
Yeah, so I wasn't breeding yet. I had a lot of geckos that I was going to
Yeah.
breed, but yeah, like pretty early on, yeah.
So now you are very well known through a lot of people in the community now,
Yes.
because you're very so I watched you grow. I pretty much
Yeah, same.
watched I watched
Same.
you
From the
grow
beginning.
from the
Yeah.
beginning, right? And I
Yeah.
seen you grow, and I see how much you are very involved in the social media, especially Instagram, on like everything and all that stuff, and you have targeted your hobby and your collection mostly towards reds and trying to perfect that red, which
Yeah.
I very much admire. I very much
Thank
admire
you. I
because
appreciate that.
for
It's hard, man. It's hard.
I know. So, well, I like to use you as an example for a lot of people when I talk. Actually, more so than you think. I actually talk about you to other people when I talk to new
Thank
breeders.
you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
because
that.
no, because you you focused on something, right? You focused on a specific thing and you targeted on it and you decided to accumulate animals and build around that, which is a very, very smart thing to do. So
And that I learned from you, Brian. So thank you for that.
I appreciate that. But like I said, like you did it and you honed on and now you started collecting from some of the top red crested gecko breeders and you have a little bit from everybody. And now you've
Yeah,
collected
that's crazy.
all these amazing red geckos and you're going to be producing all these amazing red geckos, which is amazing. So
Thank you.
what my question now for everybody to really understand, like what made you start going to reds? Like when did you go like, hey, listen, I'm just gonna go for reds and that's really gonna be my main focus and I'm gonna work around reds?
So we first went to an expo and we kind of didn't know what we wanted. We got our girl Freya, which is a extremely dark base and she has yellow on her. And then we had originally thought we were going to do darks, which we do have a few of them to incorporate with the reds and stuff. But that's what we originally were going to do because we just liked it so much. But then once I started going on Instagram and I started seeing other people with red geckos, I was kind of like, I really dig the idea of having a red base, but with other patterns and colors on top of it. You know, it looked really nice. So we kind of just pretty much decided, not verbally, but we were just like, oh, we really like these reds. And we decided to get a bunch of them. So our first red gecko was our male blood pool. And we got him from, he's like one of the first, he's our profile pick if you want to go.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
But
this out first.
He was our first male, and we got him from Fringe Morphs on a Black Friday sale. And when he came in, we were like, "That's what we're gonna do." Like we just automatically decided that's what we're gonna do. So that was it. So we started just expanding on that. We've been getting from different lines and stuff. So that's what we decided to do.
Ooh, that's your
That's Sakura, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, Sakura, yay!
But yeah,
Brian's favorite.
Thank you. But so we've just been expanding on that idea. And we just been growing from there and getting a lot more patterns recently introduced into our group because we had a lot of Reptar. Sorry.
Reptar.
We had a lot of like patternless and bland-ish reds until we decided, well, we need to introduce some patterns. So we've been getting a lot of different base colors, but now introducing patterns into our lines. So recently, like on my page, I just been incorporating a lot more like different colors as opposed to just red, just because of the fact that
I wonder who told you to do that.
Brian. Let's build an idea of what
Brian Butler? Yeah.
No, so build an idea of what people would possibly get to see, but think of it as red, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like we have like the dark baby, we have like the male that I just posted, and we just want to make sure that people get like it's not only reds, we're gonna like incorporate a bunch of stuff. But we're also gonna probably do tries because Alan's getting into the game, but with tricolors. So like we're gonna do a mix of both. So mostly reds, but kind of going into tries a little bit.
Well, no, that's great, man. I think it's really good to do that. Like you can hone in on what you want to do, your specific project first, and then you could branch out and then start exploring other things because now you established your foundation. Now you have your foundation. Your foundation is set. So now you can build on that foundation and start incorporating other things. Because just looking at the chat, you can just see how many people like, oh, I love Sophia's animals. They're beautiful reds and all that.
Thank you.
You just
I appreciate. I was gonna say I appreciate everyone in the chat or my followers and stuff because it's joyful to see that people enjoy stuff as well.
Yeah.
Especially through everything bad, good, whatever. It's very nice to see that people actually enjoy what you have.
Sophia, we started around the same time, and I remember messaging you, and
I remember.
Not that it's like a follower, like we're not like comparing like size or whatever, but
no.
but you have You have 4,000, like 4,500,
Ugh.
over 4,500 followers. I only have 1,500. You've been very good with your social.
I
You've been on
appreciate
top of it.
trying, man. It's hard.
I mean,
I know it
her
takes so much work. I'm like, I can't do what Sophia's doing. I'll just do a podcast or something.
her photos get like 1,000 likes per photo.
Dude. Oh shit. Yeah, let's pull this
Like
up.
you,
And-
like
I
it's
appreciate. Listen, I mean, listen.
like
the thing
I
is,
have
Wait, where's the likes at?
22,000
Oh,
followers.
on.
I'm lucky if I break 200 likes on a
Okay,
freaking damn
575,
post. That means my animals suck
430.
ass.
Oh, stop, Brian. Come on now.
Yeah,
No,
you
you know what the
Look
thing
at that,
is, though. I
2,000
also think
freaking likes. That's
no, but
crazy.
also, you know what I think is it's eye-catchy stuff, if that makes sense. What I've realized from
Nah,
Instagram
it's
is that
it's
a
you
lot of
have.
things that are eye-catchy, so something that's red or something that's pure white
Wait,
or
go
something
back,
that's like
Harry. Go up
Which
one.
one?
I want to
This one?
ask that animal.
This one's
No,
2,000.
drop one. The extreme.
This one?
Drop
that,
below.
no,
Go down.
Oh,
Go
below.
down.
Okay.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What animal is that?
That's the one from Kevin from Fireside.
Oh,
That's Mr.
that's-
Kevin right there. That's
Oh,
the one
that's-
I'm seeing.
that's the Riptide Freya or Riptide Oreo.
Oriole. Your
Oh
sibling.
man, that's sick.
Yeah, it got really nice. Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Fireside
cool.
produced that.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, it's so cool to see you grow, Sophia. I
I
think
appreciate it.
you know, obviously we're on the same journey around the same time, so we're kind of doing different things, have different projects at the same time. We have a similar collection in terms of the
Mhm.
sizing, and I'm pretty excited to watch us grow together and
Of course,
see
yeah.
you
I
kill
always
it in the
watch
reds.
this stuff and I'm like, damn, I gotta get something. Like,
Yeah,
I'm excited.
we
We'll
need to
trade.
know what you did. How do you get? So I guess this is going to be a topic. I guess this is good for you because you actually I've watched you grow in a little whatever over a year worth, and then I watched you jump with followers with so many. So my question would be for new people in this becoming into hobby and getting on social media, what do you think would be a good way to go about it so that way they can become grow followers like you? Like what do you think is the best way to go about it?
So the thing with followers is that shouldn't be your aim. I never made it my aim to
Mhm.
get popularity or anything. I made it my aim to do the best that I could and produce the best that we could. You know, I never aimed to get a lot of followers. Now it so happened that people like our stuff, so they followed, you know. But I never set out and said, well, I want to have the top followers or I want to be the most popular because I feel like then you lose what you're actually there to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I never set out to become like Tiki's Geckos and get 100,000 followers, which that would be gorgeous and that would be nice.
Well, Tiki's
But-
puts out really good content,
Of
and
course.
he's actually, you know,
Like nonstop content, that guy.
I enjoy his content, man. I
Of
laugh
course,
all
and
the
it's
time.
amazing to see that someone that's not like the conventional Instagram thing would have so many followers and so many like people liking videos and photos and stuff, and that's amazing. Now, like I don't put it out there to be that type of person where I'm only about the followers, which I know some people are so in tune with it,
Yeah.
but they lose what they were originally there to be for. You know, I just want to produce the best we can.
So much knowledge from it. I'm just in shock. There's so much knowledge
Wisdom
coming from
a 22.
wisdom and knowledge.
22
And I
-year-old.
told you this before, Sophia, that
I appreciate
from
that.
a 22-year-old girl
Yeah.
is speaking with so much knowledge and wisdom, like she's been and she knows a lot. And I'm like, wow, I'm amazed. I'm
Thank you.
amazed.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Appreciate
continue.
you.
I just wanted to
No, I
say
appreciate
that.
that. It's
Yeah.
just, you know, it's hard because Instagram is such a fluctuating thing. And you have to realize that if you don't fit the algorithm, you're not going to be popular. Okay. Because I remember during a streak where I was hitting, like you were seeing the 2,000, 1,000, whatever, like per post.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is cool. Right. But then I didn't post for an extra day and then it dropped
Oh no.
because
Hey,
it hits like,
Look at
an
this,
algorithm.
seven,
I know.
almost 8,000 likes on this.
Holy.
that's the thing. And it kind of just drops, you know.
So that's
and
I actually agree with. I know that I've had that where I'll get like 1,000 likes, and then the next, like if I don't post for a day, Instagram feels like you're inactive, like
Yeah.
an inactive account, and then they won't push your post anymore, and then you're lucky if you break 100 likes, and it's like wow, like my
Yeah.
post yesterday got like 68 likes, so I'm like, it's just like, what do you do with social media? Like, you can't keep up with the algorithms and you
It's
can't figure it
honestly,
out.
it's like it's a game. Honestly, what I realized is, of course, eye catchy stuff is the thing that Instagram's going to promote. They said they promote reels and everything. So I guess that's what you can do. I just post what I like to post. If I don't have anything that I don't feel is worthy of posting, I'm not going to post.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't posted for 2 days, 3 days now. I'm sure if I try to post again, it's going to tank. That's just the way it is. It's just the way that Instagram promotes their stuff. And it sucks. But at the same time, you're playing with an algorithm. And if you don't know how to beat the algorithm, you're not going to win it.
Yeah.
So for all the people that are like kind of upset about the fact that their stuff isn't being promoted, or they have a lot of likes and then they're not, it's honestly, it's not even you. It's just the Instagram algorithm. You're not going to beat it. So those true followers, and not the ones that are just like spam following or spam liking that a lot of people get, which is a lot of what likes are nowadays. Your core followers, like, I know Brian always likes my photos, Harry always likes my photos, like Scott likes my photos, everyone likes our photos, and you know who it is.
Matter.
You know, it's the ones that matter, because you have a bunch of likes. Like, that's 7,000 likes. I'm sure most people don't follow me from there, you know?
Well, I mean,
that's what it is.
7,000, you have 4,500 followers, 7,000 likes. So yeah,
you see, like, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't add up.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
crazy.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, Sophia, would you, you know, in the future, would you be down to join us again sometime for like a full on podcast and whatnot?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. No, we appreciate you. You're amazing. You're awesome. And where can people find you besides your Instagram page? Any other
pretty much just Instagram. We're gonna try to launch a website by Flora Fauna.
Yeah, you'll be there, right?
Are you going? You know, I know you.
Yeah, we'll see you
there.
then.
Yeah, we're going.
I'll tell Harry. We actually met. I met Sophia the first time at Flora Fauna.
Yeah,
it was funny because I was standing there and somebody's tapping my shoulder and I turned around. I turned around and I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anybody.
Yeah, I'm 5'1", Brian.
I'm 6'3", and I turned.
Are you like Gabby?
I was like, oh wow, and I was like, oh, what's up? Yeah, we met at Flora Fauna last year. It was great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to have a website, Morph Market up by that point. Hopefully a logo, man. Like we're trying here.
I'm with you, Sophia. I'm the same. I don't have a logo yet.
We're trying it. Just like, you know, logo like, or new Gecko, like just a hard one right there.
Yeah. No, I got you. Yes, we appreciate you, Sophia.
One question. And I'm gonna ask everybody that comes on. SF Exotics. What is the behind the name?
So a lot of people think it's from San Francisco. It's not. We're not based in San Francisco. I had so many people messaging me about that. It's not. It's short for Semper Frigidus Exotics.
What's that mean?
So Alan came up with that name because he was in the Marines. So he came up with Semper Frigidus from Semper Fi.
Yeah.
So it's always cold-blooded, always cold, something like that. Exotics. So
awesome.
Frigid,
we
like cold.
Specified in Cresties yet, so we kind of didn't want to write Cresties, so we just wrote Exotics.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I like that.
That should be Zeros Exotics. So since you don't want to use Cresties.
I always thought it was Sophia
Exotics.
but you're not spelled with an F. It's with a P.
No, you're right. It's with a P. No. Yeah. You're right.
Well, now I know after all this time of knowing you.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, Sophia. We'll catch you again soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chat with you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, that was great.
Cool. That was fun. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. Always good, man. Always good time. Yeah, I wish. Yeah. I think it's. What do you think? It's tough when you have like 4 people stacked up and you have a limited amount of time, so you have to kind of. You still want to talk with them, but you got to cut it. You know.
We don't have a. I mean, we can go a little longer. I mean, how long? We're hour and a half in, and then we got 2 more guests. Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna dump our last 2 guests together. Not
together.
In negative. Yeah, let's put them together.
Yeah,
we're excited.
That was a good topic about the social media.
Yeah,
like I feel like we actually should do a little bit more talking about that eventually on here because a lot of people they always people are just so worried about their social media and how many people follow them, and then I get the messages. You know what's the worst messages? Hey man, can you share this post for me? Can you share my page? I'm like, Listen,
Yeah.
man, that's not how you go about it, man. Stop begging me to share your page and your stuff. Just like listen, just post it and that's it. Don't be asking me to like share stuff for you. Like
Yeah,
that's not how you go about like growing your account, man.
Yeah, just I mean, for you, Brian, I know you always just tell me and AJ just to post.
Yeah,
'Cause
just post, man.
AJ and I are bad at posting regularly. We post like
If
occasionally, you know.
yeah, if
But
you're not posting, nobody knows you exist. That's all
true.
I say.
I mean, you could tell the difference. Sophia and I literally started at the same time because I remember messaging her. We pretty much started our Instagrams around the same time, and she's at 4,500. I'm at 1,500, right? And again, I'm not about the numbers like
And
that.
you
I
got
don't
the
care.
Gecko pod too.
We
So
got the
it's
Gecko,
like
Gecko pod. Yeah, I don't care. I just want to do the good projects, but at the same time, consistent posting like Sophia does, engaging the community. I think that's what helps kind of get your name
well,
out, and so people
but
need to do that.
you're engaging the community with this podcast.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
it's
So
like
a lot.
really
Yeah,
so
most
like
of my time goes into this. Yeah.
one hand washes the other. So
Yeah.
it's like
For sure.
you know, that's how it is.
Yeah, I got you. Cool. So
Oh
let's
yeah.
dump in our
Buckeye
two.
Morphs does send me the best messages.
Who does? Oh, who does?
Yeah. Buckeye Morphs.
Oh,
Kenny,
Buckeye.
You see that? You see what he wrote? He said he sends me D pics all day.
Oh, Kenny,
bring-
get those likes
bring
up,
our-
Kenny.
Bring our brothers in.
All right, here we go. Let's bring our bring the boys in.
Oh, Scott.
Scotty, Miami Art Geckos, Scott
Hey,
Miguel, and also Chatty the Baddie. at
Chatty
Kimana
the
Gecko.
baddie.
What's up, guys?
Chad's playing with his
My
pussy.
iPod just died.
What happened,
Yeah.
Scott? Your AirPod just died. You said.
My earbuds died.
Okay.
Oh,
Feel free.
You wear-
Feel free to get set up. We'll keep chatting as you get figure that out.
Hey,
No worries.
Scott, you have your mask on. Make sure you wear your mask. I don't want to catch anything.
Scott, are you at home? You don't need your mask.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that shirt, Chad. I didn't even see it.
Oh.
Gotta rep.
Yeah.
Gotta represent. you
Oh
know?
man, I love it, man.
Oh,
I love
snap.
Yeah.
Look at Scott's backyard. Look at that.
Dude.
Scott's
Oh
got-
my
look,
God.
Yeah.
Nick L, Chad,
Look at that
the guy in every
moon.
Tinley picture. That's very true.
Dude, that is me. That is me.
Oh man, that's so
Oh
funny.
man, look at this guy. Look at
Dang,
this.
he's kind
So
of.
what's up, Chad? How you doing, man? I know
I'm-
you just got out. You got out of work, right? You worked today.
Yeah,
left
I
early?
took a half day for y'all.
You're the
Oh,
best.
thanks, Chad.
Yeah.
You're the best.
I was like, man,
Yeah.
I gotta make some time for the podcast, so I took a half day. Plus, there's not
Nice.
much work today because it's the new units came in, so it's like everyone's like, you know, working with their heads cut off and stuff. So I'm like, I don't need any of that today. Let's go have some fun. So
Yeah,
I'm here.
Aloha
Exciting.
Kanaka Maoli.
What does that mean?
Oh,
What does that mean?
I don't know. You tell me, Brian.
I don't know. I just read it.
Kala, I don't know if I'm saying right. Kala Kim said that. So
Oh, Kala Kim. Kala
Kim.
Kim is actually, where's he from? I know he's from Oahu, but we've never met. But he messaged me one day.
What is Kala Kim's Instagram? Is it a Gecko page?
Little Angel.
Oh yes.
Project?
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. that-
And
Yeah,
it's
we-
nice to see some Islanders, you know, like get into the hobby and stuff. It kind of makes me, you know, feel like home again. So it's like our little small like Oahu community, you know, getting in here, and it's like, oh man, yeah, I'll show them the ropes. So
that's awesome, man.
Nice.
yeah.
Scott, can you hear us? Are you on? We can't hear you.
Oh no.
Your mic.
Your
You're-
mic.
you're-
Look for the setting.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we
Sorry.
go.
Why is Brian here? I thought AJ was going to be here.
Yeah. Brian is AJ. Asian
Oh,
AJ.
James.
I'm Asian.
I want to be back
AJ.
next week. Bring me back next week.
You'll be back next week. Yeah, he's coming back for the real AJ. No. Oh no, that's so funny. That's so
You're
funny.
lucky.
We're
You're lucky we like you, Scott.
Cancel.
I know, right?
Cancel.
Yeah.
Scott's part Asian. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking.
Which part?
Brian and AJ and I were like,
Dang.
it's like the office Asian gym. So Brian's our Asian AJ. So
I'm Asian
Oh,
AJ.
yeah.
oh, that's awesome. How you guys doing? You guys good?
Good.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging in the waiting room, waiting for us to chat. Appreciate you guys.
No
Yeah,
problem.
for sure.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you guys. Scott, you want to go first and tell us how long you've been breeding, collection size, just a basic rundown. And
Geckos, right?
what's that?
Breeding geckos, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Geckos.
Like 5 years. 5 years ago, I was in the hospital in the ICU for 5 weeks. I only had a 10% chance to live. They didn't think I would make it. But shout out to Tiki's Geckos, because for that whole 5 weeks in the ICU, I just watched Tiki's Geckos videos all the time.
Tiki's Gecko videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Tiki.
Yeah.
I swore
Good job,
when
David.
I got out, I was going to get some kind of reptile. When I was a kid, I had reptiles, but in the attic because I wasn't allowed to have pets. So I swore when I got out of the hospital, after 8 weeks, that I was going to get some reptiles. I started out with a couple of bearded dragons, got like 20 leopard geckos, slowly got some crested geckos. Went a little crazy from there, so I figured out what I really wanted to narrow it down to, what more. But it grew from there.
Oh wow, that's
All
great,
right.
man. I mean,
Dang.
that's a pretty good story, man. I'm glad you're here to tell us about it, obviously, and I mean, I always tell people how Scott is one of my favorite people in this hobby. Like
That's the sweetest dude.
he's definitely is one of my favorite people in this hobby. One of the nicest guys I've ever met, and genuinely nice. It's different when when people are being nice just to be like, oh, they're just being nice to like get something or from something. And I just had this
Yeah.
conversation with you, Scott, the other night because we were on the phone, and you're definitely one of the very few genuinely nice people I've met in this hobby. And like, I don't want to I don't want to put your whole
better.
I don't want to put your whole story out there, but recently you were at the West Palm Beach show, and the Gabby posted it up, right? And I'll just touch on it a little bit because I know you don't want people to know this, and like because it's like you didn't do this so people can whatever, but I'm gonna tell people why you're such a nice guy. So pretty much Scott was at the show with Gabby and AJ vending, and he had a leopard gecko. And Scott, I'm not going to get too far into details. And I know there's a lot of details into this story, and I'm just going to really just kind of like snip it a little bit. So I'm going to leave a lot out because we don't want to waste a lot of time on this. So basically there's a leopard gecko on his table, and the boy, there was a young boy who wanted the leopard gecko. And so he was at the end of the thing. Their table was at the end. So the kid sister ended up getting a snake instead of the leopard gecko, because originally they were there to go buy a gecko for the kid. And the kid's mom said she didn't have enough money for a budget for the gecko. And long story short, after like the kid just like so wanting it, but the kid wasn't bratty about it, like whiny, like, oh, I want it and whatever. He was just like, okay, I won't take it. So eventually they walked away from the table, and Scott went up to the mother and asked if he can gift the gecko to him. And Scott, the mother said yes. And he gave the gecko, and the kid just started crying like out of joy. And that's just like the kind of guy Scott is.
That's what our community is all about, you know?
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
Scott,
Hey, Brian, you're gonna make me feel cry now.
bro, man.
Yeah, do it live.
Just listening to that story gets me.
No, there's a lot
emotional.
of backstory to it, but you can go on Gabby's page.
No, yeah, I know there's a lot of. You told me all the.
Cool.
There is a lot of backstory to it, and so what I've heard, what did I mean, we'll add a little bit to it that so the boy lost his stepfather. Is that what it was? Like he lost his father,
his brother, but I didn't know
And
that until the day later.
Yeah, she messaged
Oh,
you
wow.
later on, right? And the boy lost his stepfather and his twin brother, and
Yeah, she texted me to thank me, and she told me then that he had lost his father and his twin brother in a car accident
Wow.
just 3 months before. And they had went there to buy him a leopard gecko because he had rescued one like 2 years before, and he still had it. So he probably knew more than me. He was teaching people at my table about how to take care of geckos.
amazing.
Wow.
So he knew what he was doing. And he had walked the whole place and apparently asked like 5 or 6 people to hold leopard geckos. And I know it's kind of challenging for kids to like, if they want to hold the geckos, they're going to jump off in the middle of the aisles. And apparently nobody would let them touch them, and they were leaving. And so the mother thought, okay, he's not getting a leopard gecko, I'm going to get the daughter a snake. So they got the daughter a snake. Meanwhile, I'm there with the grandmother at my table, and then the mother came over and she was like, "Oh no, I thought you weren't going to get anything. I already got the snake. Now I don't have any money left." And I was like, "Cool." I looked at Gabby like, "No, I can't let him leave. He's the next Tiki Geckos or Brian Butler or something."
Yeah.
He knew what he was
He's the
doing.
next Brian Butler.
Yeah.
The
Or
next
David?
Brian Butler.
I mean, the children are our future, man. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So
Yeah, that's really cool.
But it wasn't just any kid. He probably knew more than me.
Yeah, and I got 2 of your leopards today, Scott. Thank you for sending it. I got your cookie. I got your card. I'm ready to eat it. I didn't eat it yet. I'm saving it. I wanted to show you, and then I'm gonna eat it.
He's on a diet.
What did he send you? A Lindsay's cookie?
It's Cheryl's cookies.
Oh,
I've never had that.
Yeah,
Cheryl's
that's
cookie.
awesome. Yeah. So Scott, how big is your collection? You have a few things. You have leopards, obviously, and cresteds, obviously. Are those the only 2 things you do?
I have one detail.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
One leaf
you're a platypus?
Yes,
Sycamore, Fantasticus. What you got?
Brian. Yes, what you just said.
Oh, Sycamore.
Yeah.
Sakura.
Sakura. I don't know.
Yeah.
Corey.
The mossy leaf tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. So how big is your crested and leopard collection?
My leopard collection, I probably have adults, probably like 40, and my crest is probably
Wow.
like 50.
Okay.
Mostly
Cool.
tricolors and reds.
Well, these
Nice.
are adults, all like 50
Yeah,
adults.
that's-
and-
Adults.
Wow. Oh, you just yeah, I saw that. You just got Bramble. That's cool.
It's very
So you
cool.
don't do this. So this obviously, like I know, but for everybody else to know, this isn't a full time for you right now. You have your other stuff, and then this is just like a side hobby kind of thing for
Right.
you.
I work full time at home with Home Depot, and I have a full building business.
Nice.
We
Very
have a
cool.
full building business. Miguel's the other half of me, but he's like Alan for social.
Tell Miguel we said hi.
So
He's
yeah,
not
tell
coming out
Miguel.
here.
Is Miguel very involved in the geckos with you?
Somewhat, not as much as me. They're growing on him.
Nice.
Nice.
When I first got the geckos, he was okay with it because I was supposed to be dead. he kind of went along with it.
Yeah.
After the whole hospital incident, it's a long story, but the doctors gave me the wrong drugs, which is why I was
Oh,
put in the hospital
shit.
for 5 weeks. But the wrong
Oh,
drugs
damn.
they gave me caused me to have both hips and both arms joints replaced. Not
Wow.
they didn't grow back
Oh.
like a gecko. But I had to have them
man.
replaced. So I had like a long recovery period, having all my joints replaced. And so he was kind enough to let me get into what I really wanted to get into, and it's actually growing on him now too. He went with me to the show in West Palm Beach last weekend, and now
Nice.
he can't wait to go to another one.
So that was his. You said that was his first show.
It was my first show too, vending.
Oh.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just
wow.
said you
I
guys
wasn't,
vended next to each other.
Officially a vendor. Gabby called me. We were supposed to go out to eat the day before, and Gabby and AJ called me and invited me to
Oh,
vend
that's
their
sweet.
table with
Yeah.
them. So that was
Yeah,
fun.
I need to vend at some point.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do it.
It's always vending is fun,
Yeah.
man. You just
Yeah.
it's very community engaging. It's fun because you get to like what Scott did. You know, he got to meet the kids. It's all about that's what brings you joy is like watching these kids because you're like you see yourself in that kid because you're like
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
that kid. You know,
Exactly.
so
I was that
that's-
kid, except my mother didn't let me to get geckos. So
yeah.
it was kind of cool. Like I like that mom. Like that's really cool.
Same thing. My mom didn't want me getting anything, and then she got me an iguana. I don't know why, but
Yeah, iguana.
Of all things to get.
yeah, an iguana, freaking shit, man. And then after a while, like I just didn't care, and I just took home whatever I wanted.
Yeah,
That's
that's
great,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, Scott, how do you, just a quick, we each kind of had like a mini topic. We don't, as there's a bunch of us, but what would you say is a good way to build out a collection? With Sophia, she niched down really hard in the reds, and then, Brian and whomever has helped advise her to kind of mix that into different patterns and whatnot. For you, how would you what kind of advice would you give for new breeders in how to build up a collection?
I kind of started kind of quickly, and I guess I should have researched more. Not the animal. Obviously, you have to research what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But I mean, research as far as what more if I wanted to get. I kind of just like started buying stuff. So figure out what kind you like the most, what you're passionate about. How much size do you have? If you can have 200 animals, then you can have several projects. If you have a smaller space like me, 50, 60 is about my max, and I can't really have too many projects. And what I did was I had like lilies, tries, harlequins. I had a whole bunch of stuff, and then I realized I can only have like 5 of each, and that's not really.
Got it. Did you
figure out what you want, then figure out who you want to get them from. You can do it 2 ways. You can buy small and wait till they grow. A lot cheaper that way.
Yeah.
The problem with that is they grow slow.
Yes.
And you don't always know, especially when you're first starting, what they're really going to look like when they're adults.
That's
Because
exactly
they
right.
don't look the same way when they're babies. Or you can buy adults from somebody that already have breeders that are selling. The problem with that is, why are they selling these breeders?
Yeah.
A lot of times,
bootleg animal.
Always.
Sometimes it's because they're not producing. Sometimes it's because they don't produce good, or they don't produce good babies. But a lot of times it's probably just because, like me, if I have one adult and she gave me 30 babies over 2 years, and I kept 5 babies, I don't really need to keep the adult anymore because then I'm breeding. So if it's for that reason, then it's different. So you can get the adults and be on your way already.
I feel like that buying young can go both ways. So yeah, you can get something that's not too nice, but like if let's say you buy young, a lot of breeders, when it gets to a certain point that it looks like really nice, they're not going to sell it. So if you're buying young, you can luck out and get some really phenomenal animals that are way nicer than expected, and they could be like a cornerstone animal, because I've bought, I'm going to say 95% of my animals were bought young. And you know how many times I post it and they're like, was that my animal? I'm like, yeah, it was. They're like, I've been asked to
buy back.
They want to buy back, and they'll buy back for what, like way more. I'm like, no, I'm not selling. I really want this animal. Yeah. And it's like, it's unfortunate, but like that's kind of risk you get as a seller or a breeder selling smaller animals. Like some people, like Brian Butler, he doesn't sell anything under 20 grams really, right? Because he likes to see how far they go and progress, and then he'll start selling off whatever.
And you just like eliminate the fun of watching those geckos grow.
Right.
The progression is like the important part of I feel like in gecko breeding, because you find out how they turn out. Like when you buy an adult, it's already at its full potential growth, right?
Yeah.
Color, morph, whatever it is. And then you don't see that. You don't see the change. And when you figure out the change from baby to adult, that's when you can start seeing things like how to buy young or what to buy,
Agreed.
lineage and stuff like that. And for me, that's how I learned from
100% right.
Buying young,
I keep a lot of my babies now until they're older because I'm new. And when they hatch, I really don't have the eye to say this is going to be a really nice red,
right,
or this is going to be a really nice harlequin or a great tricolor. But I'm watching that now with my babies, and I'm finding out like, oh wow, you're a lot better than I would have told you. But now that you're 10 grams, wow, so I want to train my eyes and keep them so they're a little bit bigger, so I kind of get an idea of what they're looking like. Because most of the time when they're born, although I had one I posted a couple days ago. Yesterday.
Let me get that one. Let me buy that one off you right now. I will buy that one right off for you right now.
That's honestly one of the only times I went like, oh wow, okay.
Let me buy that one off. I want to buy that one right now.
Is that a lily white?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, let me have that too.
It could be a sable.
Let me buy that.
Let's just co-own it, all 3 of us.
Scott, let me buy it. Scott, let me buy it. That's why I messaged.
There's actually 2. The other one looks just like it too, but I was trying to get both to take a picture with both in my hands. The one kept jumping, and my cat was sitting right there, and I was like, no. I don't
no. Yeah.
So you don't need 2. Why don't you just sell me one?
Yeah.
That looks very cool.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
I don't know. We lost him.
We lost Lost him. CPR.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there you
Here we
go.
go, Scott.
Yeah,
Hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool, Scott. Yeah, I think that's tough. I think finding, because that's kind of my problem too. Coming in, I just bought a bunch of random stuff, not completely random. A lot of tricolors, a lot of extreme Harleys, but I didn't know exactly what is what. I was still learning the different morphs, and then as they're growing up and I'm learning more about the morphs, I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have bought like a third of this stuff.
I think everybody probably goes through that. You have
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
I
think
did
so.
too.
you have you can look at pictures all you want, but you have to have it, and then you realize, I don't really want that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Knowing what I
still do
know
that.
now, I would have
I
saved
still do that.
a lot of money.
Mhm.
You still do that, Brian?
Sure.
You just
Well-
take the risk, huh?
Well, you gotta. I have a problem.
What's your problem?
Buying.
I have a buying problem.
Oh,
I think everybody has
that's
that.
most of us, man.
Yeah, but like the problem is like I don't need any more animals, but like I'll go out there and I'll see something with like an insane deal like you can't pass up and I'll just buy it just because. I mean, I do have a mentality though that like it's such a good deal that if I don't use it, I can sell it for probably
More.
more.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Right.
I'm not like going actively looking for animals to flip. That's not what I'm doing. I'm actually going out there. I'm looking for animals. And when I just look, because I like to keep an eye on the market, and then
Yeah,
if I
okay.
see something like that's like, wow, this animal is so underpriced, I need to get. Like I just bought 2 animals from Andrew, the Gilpins, Andrew and Sarah, right? And I didn't need those 2 animals, but like I was like, man, those things are that for the lineage and the niceness and the potential. I have to get it, and it was just such a good budget price and. I ended up with 2 extra animals from that just because
Yeah.
I just
You have a good
buy.
eye. You have a
Yeah.
good eye with babies. You pick out good
And
ones.
the prices go up too. I mean,
Yeah,
like
that's
once you grow them out, you're not
Yeah.
going to sell them for the same price.
Yeah.
They're going to progress at some point.
Yes, 100%.
So.
Always.
My
Although,
ostrich just jumped out of the fish tank.
Uh-oh.
And Brian, I heard you talking about Black Knights. I got something for you.
Oh,
How many
look
do you
at
have?
that.
Scott, how many do you have?
Black Knights probably have like 10 adults, but this is one of my.
How many males do you have? I got to get a male from you.
Look how dark that thing is. That thing is sick.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I want a leopard gecko now.
All right,
Oh
I'm gonna.
no, here we go, Chad.
Chad, let me pull some. Let me pull some Scott leopards. You guys keep chatting. I'll pull a Scott leopard.
Uh,
Keep
man,
talking.
that Black Knight is sick, man. Wait, what?
Oh, we lost you again.
What's up with your mic, man? Is it your mic?
Scotty's mic.
Are you? We can't hear you still. I wonder if it's
Scott.
it's operating
Now,
off of you.
now.
There
Oh
you
yeah,
go.
now I hear you. Yeah. Maybe because your earbuds upside down.
I don't even know what the hell I'm doing.
Oh no, Scott.
Scott's wearing. He has his earbuds upside down.
Oh yeah, because it automatically mutes it whenever you take it off.
Oh,
I
maybe
believe so.
are they
So-
reversed too? Do you know
Oh,
how?
now you're muted. So
Now
I
you're
think-
muted again.
I think you can
gotta
tap
figure
it.
out. Tap it.
That's so
tap
funny.
it. Turn on.
Scott,
There
you
we go.
muted.
Now you're not muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh
we can
yeah.
hear you
Now we hear you.
There we go.
Technology stuff. I'm 58. It's like way over my head.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Scott's animal.
This
That's
is
a
a
nice one.
this is
Where'd
a
you get
leopard I
that?
got from Scott today.
Now,
One of
is
them.
that a subadult or is that a?
Yeah, it's a
no.
subadult.
Oh, okay.
This is a high contrast, right, Scotty?
Yeah.
High contrast temper tangerine. What is this?
My
Clown.
contrast Tremper.
Temper tangerine. Yeah,
Oh, it's albino.
Um,
Albino Trump or
George
het Trump?
Jorge.
from George.
How-
yeah, George.
How
Jorge.
small do they hatch out? Like
Ah.
as small as Cresties or a little
No,
bigger?
they're a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, but not much.
Kind of like lychee then?
This guy's
No.
I would
skittish.
assume.
No.
But they grow a hell of a lot faster, Chad.
Yeah. You'll
Uh,
you'll get like 80 grams in a year.
Like
Oh,
that's
wow.
probably like 6 months.
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because
cool.
they own.
And you know what they're
all
gonna look like when they're little.
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
primarily insectivores, so they just eat insects all day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, look at that coloring. It's crazy.
But that makes their
Nice.
poop stink too.
Look at
Yeah.
the tail.
But I gotta hit you up for some Black Knights.
Oh, you don't want you don't want to hit up the Nigerian prince for a black knight?
No, man, I can't tell that story live yet. I'll tell you guys one day. I can't tell you. But anyway, yeah, thanks, Scott. So where can we find you? We'll keep chatting. Stay on, okay? But we'll move to Chad. But where can we find you besides your Instagram? You have Morph Market as well, right?
Yes. Instagram, Facebook. My link to Morph Market's on Instagram.
Okay, sweet, man. Yeah, you want to stay on with us while we talk with Chad?
Sure.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we love your company.
Wait, I gotta ask you, why you have a mask on your chin?
Oh, because while this was going on, I had a homeowners association meeting.
Wait,
HOA
what?
meeting.
We had a meeting.
He had
Okay.
an
I
HOA
had a
meeting.
meeting for I'm president of I hate associations, so I became president of mine.
So you
And there was
so-
a meeting tonight, and they were like all out here in my face.
Oh.
And I did it just because one of the ladies was ticking me off because she kept coughing and getting
Oh,
in my
no.
face, and I was like, "Can you just go home? There's no meeting tonight. Why are you even at my house?"
That's funny, man.
Oh,
They probably all go to you because you have such the nicest backyard right there.
She just walked in my backyard. Because she went to the front door, and Miguel told her I was busy, and I guess she saw me sitting out here in the backyard. So she came to the backyard, and I was telling her I'm in a meeting, and she's looking at it like, "But you're not talking."
oh no. Cool. Yeah,
That's funny.
Scott. Yeah, we love you. You're awesome, dude. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. So
The best.
we
Scott's
appreciate
the
you, man.
best.
Yeah, keep chatting.
No problem.
Stay
Thank
on,
you.
okay? We'll keep chatting with Chad.
Me too.
Chad.
Cool.
So who are you, Chad? Who are you? We don't know.
I
who you are.
am.
I know who Chad is.
I
know
am
who Chad is.
Kaimana. The
Kaimana
only
Geckos.
Kaimana. Yeah.
Kaimana
Geckos.
Gecko.
Give us
It's
a little
Hey,
fine-
that's
background,
Scott.
Chad.
Well,
Good.
we're glad that Chad finally got on. You know,
Yes,
I know.
Chad.
Chad didn't want to do a episode on his own.
Yeah, I'm just not a guy that likes to talk much on these things.
All right,
You
so
know,
tell us about yourself, how you got started, and when you got started.
I started in the ending of 2019, so I wouldn't probably count that as a breeding year.
Yeah, I say it counts. Count
yeah,
it.
okay.
It counts.
I first started with bearded dragons because in Hawaii you can't have any exotic animals.
Mhm.
So when I had bought a bearded dragon, I joined a bunch of groups, communities, and all that on Facebook, and that's where it started with exotic animals, you know. And so I was in this group, a bearded dragon group, and so I did some good things in this group, and so the moderator at the time, or the person that was in charge of the page, the admin, was like, "Hey, I'm gonna gift you 3 geckos
Oh,
for
nice.
$300." Well, it wasn't really a gift, but it was a really low price, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, I don't know nothing about geckos, so yeah, sure, $300. I just $100 a piece." And so I went ahead, paid for these 3 geckos, and I mean, she taught me how to pair and how to incubate and all these little basic info, and that's where it kind of started, a 2020, during the whole COVID time. I think it was 2020, right? Yeah, around that time,
2020,
maybe.
yeah.
2020. Yeah, that's when my breeding started. I had 2 geckos in a I Heart Gecko conversion tank. It was a
Mhm.
40. It was huge. It was
Oh,
the
wow.
40 breeder, because that was my old setup that I had for my
The
bearded
beardy?
dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was a 40 gallon, and I decorated the crap out of it, bunch of pool noodles, whatever, as much as I can to kind of fill the whole terrarium. But got a few set of eggs with those, and that's where it kind of started, you know. Then I started doing some research of who breeds, and I think Cryptiles was one of them. AJ's.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, who is that guy? And then there was one that I really liked. They don't breed anymore. Emerald City, I think it was.
Oh, Emerald City Geckos,
yeah.
I have one
They,
animal.
I think that was the year they quit
Mm.
because they
Because
had
you came in.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, F this one boy. But no, they had some really nice pictures, and I
Turn
was
the
like,
pond
oh,
back on.
cool. Like, I want to,
You can turn the pond back on.
huh?
No, sorry, it was
Oh,
it was
that's
Scott.
not.
Yeah,
Oh.
keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, that pretty much started my start. But at that time, I had no knowledge of like the morphs. So the way I learned was I created a separate account on Instagram for geckos, and so all I did was follow gecko pages because I
Yeah,
had a personal account,
yeah, same.
which I didn't want to kind of share, right? I didn't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
share. All I wanted to see on my newsfeed is geckos or animals, or so I followed like I don't know, random like chameleon breeders, bearded dragons, and geckos, of course. And I would just scroll like throughout the whole COVID. I mean, we
Yeah.
had that lockdown for like what 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and so
More than
I
that.
would
It's longer than that. It's
scroll.
months,
Or
dude.
It was
well, I mean,
months,
like the,
bro.
the actual lockdown.
2
the-
weeks. I was like,
No,
No,
my
it was
lockdown was
act-
like 6 months. Like we stuck at home.
Oh,
for
in
6 months.
Missouri, it was like 2
2
weeks.
weeks?
Like we had to
Oh, man.
stay in the house for
Yeah,
yeah, it was like
California was
6. It
nuts.
was 6
Yeah.
months in New York, man.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was the best.
Oh crap!
I mean,
The
I didn't
liberal
even.
state
Oh, I
said,
know Hawaii was Hawaii was like the longest, I believe.
There was
Or-
no traffic. No traffic going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Branson, because I lived in Branson at the time, and it was like 2 weeks, and that's all I did was scroll. I would just
Mhm.
scroll, like look at other geckos and what people would say wow to, and I was like, why is this gecko like so popular? Why is everybody wanting this gecko? And that was
Yeah.
one of the things I wanted to learn, like how and what creates nice geckos, right? And so throughout the whole time of then and now, I mean, I still scroll and try to put two and two together and see what makes what. And so that's where I'm at. Like now I'm all about pinstripes. I love
Mhm.
lines. I love anything with pinning, and that's what I kind of want to focus on. So
So that was so you started around
Scott's muted.
2020?
I would say 29. I would say the ending of
There you go.
2019.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you've been like 4 years. Three
Yeah,
going on
3,
4
4
years.
years.
You're going
Yeah.
on 3 going on 4 years. That's cool, man. That's great, man. It's
Chad has some
But-
amazing stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Scott.
Chad,
Thank you.
Chad,
Yeah.
you take great photos, and
Yeah.
you have
Photos
really
are-
I
nice.
tried.
Right
I
on.
want that black glove morph. And
It's funny
Nah.
because when I first started too, like I think my very first 2 pictures were actually from a DSLR.
okay, yeah.
Because my best friend Travis, he does photography for like real estate,
Hmm.
and so he does it for a living now. And he was like, "Hey, I got a camera if you want to buy for like $300," and it had like
Yeah.
another set of like lens or something like that. I was like, "Ah, sure." And so I went and bought that, and I was just like,
Oh,
"Man,
that's cool.
how? Like, I want to try to take a picture and do what other breeders are doing." And so I learned everything through like asking people or going on YouTube or asking my friend Travis, and so I mean, I don't know crap about lighting, so I really don't.
Yeah, man.
And I shoot everything on auto.
Just
So,
pull on the
for
filter,
those-
just pull your exposure all the way up so it's glowing. It's all good.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
all-
man. Those photos look great, man. You
Oh,
did
yeah.
a great job, man.
Yeah.
I like.
All the
I've,
ones that don't have the Hawaiian hook, I use a prop that I bought from the swap meet. And
this hook?
yeah, the hook. It's a Hawaiian hook.
That's
It's like
the-
just one of those.
That's
one of
the
those like wooden.
Maui from Moana's.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
hook.
like one of those hooks. Yeah, that's
Can
what I
you
use
turn
for
into a
prop.
bird with that thing? Like
Or a shark?
what?
I wish I could turn into a lychee.
Why?
So
That'd
you
be
can
Didn't you watch-
vicious, man. I'd be the
didn't you
like
watch-
gecko.
Didn't you watch Moana, man? When he became the gecko, he became a lizard, man. He was like the weakest thing, man.
Yeah.
Why would you
So
want to be a
That thing is
leech?
so nice.
Yeah, this
Which,
one.
the empty back?
the
That
empty
empty
back,
back, yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
Jack-
What's
And
that
that
one
one,
called?
that one was thanks to Harry. Harry
Yeah.
was the one that spotted that out.
Man,
Um,
Harry, you
at that-
passed that up, bro.
Did.
Yeah.
I got, you know what I got instead, Chad? I got
What?
2 baby lily whites instead of this empty back. because I needed to grow out some lily whites, but it was dumb, but whatever. It's okay.
That's a cornerstone animal, right?
I'm glad it went
there.
to you, Chad. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's one of
but
the
I
best
mean,
names I've heard for a group, Night Marchers.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So cool.
pull
So then-
up your group.
yeah. So
Uh,
the Night Marchers is actually
Where are your Night
named after like ghosts of
Oh man, I
Oahu.
hate ghosts, bro. What
Yeah.
the hell?
So nah, I mean
Not-
the Night
Not gonna be able to
Marchers were
sleep tonight.
like
Why we gotta talk about ghosts?
the Night Marchers were like the
me pull it
kings, like the kings of like back in the day because they had tribes and stuff, right? And so now the ghost walks a certain path through south all the way to the east of Oahu, I think. No, what there's a path that goes through Oahu, and the Night Marchers walk that.
He's
And
like
so
Night Walker.
So the
yeah.
babies, are the
Don't
babies
I-
gonna have ghost names?
So these are actually
Casper.
named after like the rankings of the gods of the marchers. Yeah. So Cain would be one of them. Ku would be another one. Yeah.
It's kind of like Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
no.
They had those kings that were raised.
Yeah. Pretty much like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
Yeah.
cool. I need a baby from that, by the way.
from
Same.
this one, yeah.
Do friends get first priority?
Of course.
So if anybody wants an EB from Chad, slide into his DMs, and you know
blow
you
up
gotta
his
be,
DM.
you gotta
Oh,
be
no.
his best friend, and he loves free gifts.
First, you
No,
gotta
that's
share
okay.
my post. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
yeah,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, shares
No, I'm,
post.
no, I'm
Share
not
the
all
share-
that.
Shares post. Everybody share Chad's post. Follow him.
Yeah.
Chad, how big is your collection? How many adult breeders do you have?
Adults, I have roughly, man, I don't count. So roughly 18-ish. Yeah,
Okay.
18-ish, I
Cool.
would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not too big. All of my whole collection is still in my room. So
Do you
Okay.
do
Yeah.
you keep UVB on your cages?
for the females only. Right
Oh.
now. Yeah, females only. I don't have like at some point I want to do a UVB with like bioactives for my males, but I don't want to do it for my females because of the whole tracking the egg thing. I don't want them to be laying in bioactive soil or whatever.
I mean,
but
I think with smaller collections, you can do that because you'll know when a female lays because you'll obviously see her being so fat, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, "Oh
Right,
man, look
right.
at her!" So that at least you can keep an eye on that enough that you can be like, "All right, now I got to dig for eggs." But
Right.
if you're breeding like 50 plus females, how are you going to keep track of
right.
every single one? I mean, like I just lift up the egg box and like look. All right, this one didn't
Yeah.
lay.
I'm
next,
used to
next.
that, See, I'm so
Yeah.
used to like looking underneath
Yeah.
the glass jars that I use from
Oh
Michael, not Michael's,
Yeah.
whatchamacallit. So
Funny little story. I started out with bioactives when I first got my first Cresties, and I had like 5 cages all bioactive, and all the females were laying eggs, but I had no idea because they're laying eggs in the soil.
Oh
And I had
no.
lay boxes. I had lay boxes in there also, but they were laying in
Under.
in the soil.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, same.
Months went by, and I didn't notice, Brian, that they got bigger, fat, laid eggs dug up. I didn't notice anything. And one day I'm cleaning, and I look in one, I'm like, there's a little gecko in here. Where's this thing come from? And I started digging, and I was finding all these eggs, and so I went and checked the other enclosures, and I was like, damn, I really suck at this. Everybody's laying eggs, and they just all laying them in there. And 2 other cages, I found like little babies that I don't know how long they had been in there, but
Oh,
they're still small in
man.
there.
That's
And
funny.
I
Well,
thought, wow, I really stink at this.
they hatched and they survived. So good job keeping that substrate.
Yeah,
wet
I
and
mean,
moist.
you got
Yeah,
eventually
did a good
I
job,
wanna-
man.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
eventually
awesome.
I want to do bioactives.
but I had to destroy everything trying to look for eggs.
Yeah, it happened with my first female too. I had a lay box, but under substrate, and eventually she laid a bunch of eggs under the lay box. So I caught it beforehand though, so it worked out.
Yeah, she missed it.
Yeah, man. So Chad, we met. We only met 6 months ago
Yeah,
Right.
we
And-
officially met at Tinley.
at Tinley,
Right.
but we only started talking just prior to Tinley.
Right. It was
Like-
like not even a month.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a
and
month before.
and it's so crazy because like immediately like meeting you at Tinley, we like kind of like it was just like bam click. Like I
Mhm.
knew like yo, we became like so close, and throughout this recent last 6 months, man, we really grew close together, and
Mhm.
like Harry, AJ, and everybody, we it's so crazy because sometimes I feel like so everybody here, we're all different parts of the United States. Scott's in Florida, you're in Tennessee,
Mhm.
Harry's in California, I'm in New York. And like our friendships, like just from this community, this Gecko community, is like crazy because like I have my own personal friends here, and none I can really relate to anymore because
Mhm.
I'm so involved in the Gecko stuff, and being so friendly with and finding like we're friends on more than a Gecko level. Like we don't just talk
Right.
geckos, we talk outside of geckos, we joke
Yeah. Yeah.
around,
Mhm.
we talk our ups and downs, we share all that stuff. And that's what makes this hobby so like so good. Like I hold it so close to my heart
Right.
because just of all the connections I made in this hobby. And I'm not
Mhm.
like besides just you, there's I have other connections out there, because I don't want to feel like I'm excluding anybody. But since
Mhm.
you guys are here, I'm just talking about you guys. But like it's just an amazing thing, man. And I love that this Gecko pod also is part of bringing the community together,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. It's
Like
it's easy
Amen.
for like homebodies to kind of react or interact with people, especially when they share the same hobby, right? They share the same community. You kind of grow with them at some point, you
Mhm.
know. And like me, I don't go out. I have friends here
Yeah,
live. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
this is us hanging out right now.
yeah,
This is
we're
like
hanging
Talking to a
out,
screen.
sharing some knowledge to those that want to get into the hobby, and
Mhm.
it's great, and that's what I like to do. At some point I want to be able to share that with people, and that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love
So
that.
I feel like
yeah.
the
So
gecko
Chad.
community is more like what Chad just said. There's a lot more people that want to help each other. There's some
Mhm.
drama, but
Yeah.
there's not
Yeah,
a whole lot of drama.
Drama.
I
right.
showed boxes for 20 years, and I showed
Oh wow.
Katie's guinea pigs. I don't know if you know people can show guinea pigs, but I showed guinea pigs for 10 years. And
I
Mhm.
I don't I don't know why, but I had to laugh
it's
because I
not
don't
funny.
like I tried to hold that in, but
You can laugh. You can laugh because I laughed too when I
no,
first heard about it. I
but
had guinea pigs
but
that were
right
like this
now
big, and
I'm
they would grow
picturing
hair
you
that
showing
was
a
like
guinea
10 inches
pig.
long.
I'm just
No, no, no,
picturing
no.
you with
That's
the guinea.
awesome.
You
I'm
know,
just
the
picturing
people in the
Scott
dog
in a
world
suit,
and the guinea pig
in the
world were
suit
kind of
and the guinea
crazy, and
pig.
Yeah.
they're kind of crazy and after people's throats. At least in
Yeah.
what I find in the gecko world is most people want to help you, and
Mm,
Oh yeah,
know,
definitely.
I agree.
most
Yeah.
most.
Most. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
some.
There's always
Some
going to be drama
tough ones.
somewhere, but I'm not.
There's always a bad seed, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I just try
I
to
don't
stay. I'm not a drama queen. I try to
yeah,
stay away.
just stay out
Yeah.
of it.
We'll go hang
You're a
out together.
queen though. You're a queen, but not the
Queen,
drama
but
queen.
not a drama queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. So Chad, we were
Harry,
talking
you're
about.
going to Florida Fauna, right?
Say that again, Scott.
Me?
You're going to Florida Fauna, right, Harry?
Oh, me.
Every
Yeah.
every
I think
single
all of
person
us.
here.
All
all
four
of
of us
us
are
are.
going.
Yeah.
Brian
All of us.
promised to bring me his handcuffs. So we
Oh!
I was like seeing if I had them. Yeah, I'll bring them.
we can
Yeah.
all we can all be a little closer.
Don't forget the gag ball.
So I gotta bring 3 pairs of
You need
handcuffs.
4. You need 4 handcuffs. We're gonna cuff in a circle together.
Yeah, we'll have to walk around like that for at least one day.
Oh, that's so funny, man. That's so funny. That's great. So with Chad, we were talking about kind of community, right, with Brian
Right.
and whatnot and Scott. But as a new breeder, and this is kind of the question to ask you, how would you navigate this hobby? Is it just purely trying to figure out community aspect? What are some other aspects that you should be focused on and not worried about, but yeah, things that can help you in the hobby? How do you navigate it?
How it helped me in experience was to go to shows.
Shows, yes.
Yeah, definitely
Me too.
shows.
Same.
in other ways, I mean, I think like making friendships were a thing. I think it was the biggest thing because
Yeah, it
like
makes it fun.
for me to be in this podcast, I wouldn't have met. I don't think I would have met even AJ at all
Yeah.
because the reason why I met AJ, Gabby, and all that was because of Kevin Moody from Fireside.
Mm.
I had drove to Atlanta from Clarksville. It's a 4 hour drive. Yeah, and I had bought an animal. AJ forgot to send over that we had, and I went over to Atlanta to pick up the gecko, and then I went up to Kevin and Gabby and AJ and Brian all shared the same
Susan.
area. Yeah, Susan.
Brian Susan.
And
Sundown.
yeah, and I went to Kevin first because I interacted with him online more than anybody out of those out of that whole group. And so I had started talking to him, and he was the reason why he showed me around, and he was the reason why I kind of got
Awesome.
brought into the community. And I feel like people are willing to do that in the community for you, to kind of like bring you out there to start off as like, because when I started, like I was lost. Like where do I
Yeah.
start? All I know is like geckos, right? And I need to learn these by myself. But um going to the community, I mean, going to the shows were a different, like it's a different ball game. You start learning by talking to others that have been in the hobby for so long, 10 years,
So
5 years.
so I mean, like you're saying, like more of
Like
bigger shows, because I'm gonna tell you, there's local shows in New York, and
yeah.
there's barely any
Yeah,
crested gecko
Well,
breeders,
this one,
and they wouldn't like, bro. Like I remember going to these shows, and some of these people, like some crested gecko breeders, you talk to them, they're like, I was like, how do you even breed crested geckos? Like, I mean, I guess it's not hard to breed crested geckos, and it's probably one of the easiest geckos to breed.
right.
But like they were as dumb as like anything. Like I don't even think they could breed themselves. That's how dumb I thought they were. I was like, what the hell?
Dude, they're
Like,
watching this podcast, man. They hate you now.
I mean, hopefully they are watching this podcast so they can learn a few things.
Right. I mean, when I went to the Atlanta Repticon, it wasn't big at all. Like it was like what I expected, right? Because I haven't been. This is prior to Tinley, so
Mhm.
like that was big to me. Because
Yeah.
like big for me at that time was like seeing breeders that breed like really nice animals, right?
Mhm.
And so when I went there, Kevin showed me around, and I was like, oh crap, like this is a different scenery for me. Like this is what I want. This is what I want to kind of like get into now.
Mhm.
Like at the time, I was just like, oh, geckos, right? But let's get into another level. You got to think like, how do you get to another level of loving this hobby, right?
Mhm.
Interacting, making friends, making these podcasts, making these lives. And that's what I want to be involved in. I wanted to be involved in that. So
Yeah.
I guess that's my take on
That's
it.
good, man.
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's
Yeah,
great.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Chad, where else can we find you besides your Instagram? Are you just mainly on Instagram, chatting in the DMs?
Instagram, Facebook,
Morph Market?
Morph Market, kind of.
You guys,
Just
your
like one or
website.
two. Website, yeah,
Oh, you get the website.
kaimongeckos.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So-
let's give you. What about your cook off on Facebook, huh? Let's get everybody
Yeah.
to do some cook offs, huh?
Yeah, Ellie's taking it now. She's taking the
haven't-
reins. I feel like
I haven't seen you post anything on cook offs lately.
yeah, because Facebook, I'm trying to. Facebook is like the hate and love.
Yeah, I don't check
relationship,
Facebook all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm trying to kind of steer away from that, and I'm trying to like not be so active like I was before. So
Mm.
yeah, I don't really post stuff anymore. I think I did one post in like the past 2 weeks or something like that. So
Alright.
yeah, but The cook-off's cool though. I mean, everyone's still, I did one thing. I shared like a dish or something and tagged like 5 people, and they kind of it just kind of
Nice.
launched off.
Oh.
So whoever's watching this and have me on Facebook and want to join the cook-off, go ahead. I want to see some really nice stuff. Make
Tag
me
that.
hungry.
Taco
So-
Bell.
You guys make me hungry. all
Yeah,
the
even
time.
if it's Taco Bell.
Allie goes crazy with her. She makes all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Jam
Yeah.
and butter. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
domesticated.
Have any of you guys had her jam?
No, we're gonna find out in Florifana, hopefully.
Yeah, it's so good. It's
So
like
you guys are both going to Florifana, so we're gonna get a lot of stuff. It's gonna be fun.
Allie,
A
what's your jam?
lot of fun.
mhm.
Allie.
I think she send some dude Chad in with a gecko.
Yeah, because what
Because
happened was
I got a gecko the same day, and I was like, I didn't get any gems.
Oh,
so the reason
You gotta go
why
ping her now.
Allie is on
ping her.
blast
the
right now.
reason why you didn't get
Oh,
the
she
gem,
knows I told her.
I'm gonna take the fault from you to me is because like she gave me 2 bottles of jam at Tinley and I forgot them on
she gave-
Gabby's table, and so she's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
God, you got lucky.
yeah." So and then she was like, "Hey, you know what? I'll send it with the gecko that you bought," and I'm like, "All right." So that's why you didn't get.
Nah, man, she's discriminating, bro.
That's funny. So, we're
Gabby kept buying me Burger King at the show.
yeah, Burger King.
I'm
Yeah,
not Chad.
can't go wrong.
Oh
I'm
no
not
way!
Chad.
Did you have Burger King today?
Oh yeah,
Bro,
That's
you're
hilarious,
obsessed.
man.
You're obsessed with Burger
Chad
King.
the
Burger King needs to
Queen.
sponsor you.
Burger Queen. Yeah, I know.
Burger Queen.
As we kind of land the plane, you guys want to answer a couple more Q&As before we head out? We're at 2 hour 20 minutes right now. What do you guys think?
Where did
Yeah,
Kaimana geckos come from?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
answer that.
Yeah. So the name I started off with was Diamond Geckos.
Oh,
And so Kaimana it's more of like the power of the sea, or like kind of like the inner circle, the diamond of the sea. And so I was like, yeah, let's make it like Hawaiian-ish. And
Nice.
so that's where I got the theme of like, oh, I want everything to be Hawaiian. I want everything, names. I want props. I want thing. I wanted to be kind of different than
We
what
wanna-
everybody has.
We want a
so-
Filipino theme, man. We need to
yeah, yeah.
Sisig.
Filipino. Oh yeah, okay. Sisig. Eventually I'll have like a Filipino dish line or something, adobo sisig.
Adobo geckos.
Adobo geckos. Yeah. I'm sure.
And Scott is Miami art because you're from Miami, right? And art is the art
Yeah,
of the geckos.
Yeah. There we go.
It takes forever to figure out a name. I wanted
Yes,
to be
it does.
Miami something, and I don't know if anybody knows anything about Miami Beach, but Miami Beach has a lot of Art Deco,
Oh,
which is the architecture. If you look it up,
Yeah.
it's actually really
okay.
cool. So,
Huh.
and I knew
It's
there
just
was
a play
already
on
an
that.
Art Gecko for a
Yeah.
name, so I just did
Yeah.
Miami Art Gecko.
oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
but not you can't move out of Miami, so you're stuck there. You can't
I
leave.
know, right? But I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not staying here long for sure.
What? Are you not?
Are you going back to Utah?
No,
Where are
he's
you going?
he's going back to
I
North
don't know. I mean,
Carolina.
I worked 20 years in the Park Service. So I went from Alaska to Virginia to California to Utah to Pennsylvania, Idaho, Hawaii, Montana, and I'm in Florida, and it's probably the worst place I've lived.
Oh,
Oh,
As far
man.
as like the heat and the humidity, I love that all the plants that I can plant here, but
yeah.
it's hot.
So,
Yeah.
so
It's too crowded.
where do you anticipate to move to eventually?
I have land in Virginia, North Carolina, and Utah. One of those, and Chile, but I'm not going to Chile.
Oh wow.
One of those places.
I feel
So
like everyone's
you're-
gonna move to North Carolina. At
Yeah,
some point.
that's my goal.
That's the hub. Let's
My
just go.
Yeah.
my goal is North
Yeah.
Carolina.
Gecko Hub.
We're
Gecko
gonna
hub.
be
Well,
the
Gabby
North
Brett just bought
Carolina
land. I said I'm going to put a tent in your backyard.
North Carolina Crested Association, right? NCCA.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me. How about a few rapid fire Q&As as we kind of land out? How's that sound with all four of us?
Sounds
Okay.
great, man.
Okay, here are a few more questions from people from Instagram. I want to respect that they
Oh,
asked.
James
So
Beatty, Diamond, cause Diamond head. Yeah.
This one's a quick one. Brian, want to do this one? How do hets exantic work? How are percentages calculated? You could do a quick, basic,
So you breed a visual to visual, you're gonna get all visuals.
all
If you
visuals.
breed,
Yep.
if you breed a normal to a visual, you're gonna get 100% hets. If you breed 100% het to 100% het, you're gonna get 50%. You're gonna get 66% hets, and then 66% possible hets. So
Possible hets, yes.
there's a 66%
chance.
chance that
Yeah.
it will be het, and then you're
Correct.
gonna have the remainder of, what is it, 30? Is it right? 30?
Yeah, we have
20,
a chart.
25%. 25%.
Yeah, there's a chart.
And if you breed 100% to a normal, you're gonna get 50% possible hets, and then you just go further down. But that's pretty much the gist of it. Just visual to visual, you're gonna get visual. Visual to non-visual normals, no het, you're gonna get all hets, and then visual. Oh, exantic to. Is it visual to 100%? Yeah, we did that. We already calculated all that.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah.
There's a chart. We can chart it out for whoever is asking. So, cool. Next one. A couple more.
Oh yeah, Anthony doesn't like 66%. I heard he doesn't like.
Yeah,
the
little muscle. Yeah, he says that's like a marketing
word.
thing.
So we just say possible hets.
Possible hets. Yeah, everything is a possible het. It's either a het
Possible
or
het.
it's not. It's just
Yeah.
a chance of getting an actual het as you kind of pair different things.
Okay.
How about this one from Ralph Corpez, Chad's
Oh.
brother? That's not
my
his brother.
my
Brother?
I'll answer my brother's question.
Yeah.
Your opinion on pairing quality geckos to different mates every season inside of your collection. That brings diversity a little bit into your collection, which gives you the opportunity to carry that line or that specific mate to other lines. So you could have like one line kind of like think of it as a tree. You know, I feel like it's really cool to have your specific line, because what you want to do is create your own brand, right? You want to create your own brand. You don't want to sell off like a really nice quality gecko, pair them one season and then just kind of like dust it off and like sell it. You want to create your own brand, and I feel like if you create your own brand, people will notice you, like kind of like Chase or something, you know, like Druid and Mage. You know, create your brand, create what you want, what your quality gecko, you feel that your quality gecko is going to be the diamond.
You get it. The diamond.
The diamond in
Kaimana.
your the diamond in your breeding company.
Yeah.
So whatever you call it, or
Cool.
hobby.
Awesome. And let's see, a couple more. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this in there just because I want to, because this person asked. We're not in Arlington, but we're on the coast.
We're
It's gonna be in
far.
Arlington. How far are you from Arlington, Chad?
I think it's like 10 plus hours. Arlington, Texas,
Okay.
right? Yeah, it's about 10.
We gotta get some.
Is there another Arlington?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure there is. I'm pretty
there's
sure
somewhere,
there is.
some random
Why
far-
was I thinking it was Virginia?
How far
Yeah.
are you from Arlington, Tennessee?
I don't think there is in Arlington, Tennessee. Is there?
No, there
Oh.
isn't. I was just joking.
Well, you never know. Let's go look it up right now.
Thanks for that question. Ways to be efficient for a large collection and room flow. This one's for Brian. Quick answer for this one, Brian. What's a good way for this?
Set up a system, man. Make everything automated as possible. You really just need to be efficient. You just really got to be like a computer. Everything's got to be the same every time, so that way it doesn't change. You don't get thrown off, and just a system, man. Just keep
Be
everything close
consistent,
together. Don't have things in all different rooms. Keep your
Have a
adults with
schedule.
adults. Keep your grow outs with grow outs. Keep your hatchlings with hatchlings. And like I did, I changed to the PVC because they're better. They're more efficient than tubs. I did automated misting. I also I only did automated misting on the adults. With grow outs and hatchlings, they're not on misting, so I do have a battery a battery sprayer, which is better than a pump sprayer.
Yeah.
I save a lot of time with that. You do you do that, Harry? It saves a lot of time, right?
My collection is still small, so it's not like I don't use it all the time, but it is helpful. It's like super fast.
I mean, Chad
no-
uses the
no
squirt
comment.
gun.
Yeah,
this one. I got
yeah.
both.
I pump. Yeah.
He's got this
Well,
one, and then
I'm at that point now. Like this year, I'm gonna be breeding 3 times the amount of breeders.
Mhm.
So
Are they all in
I-
your bedroom still, Chad?
in my bedroom, yeah.
wow.
See, that's kind of efficient. You can just feed from your bed.
Yeah. I could just like lay down, watch Walking Dead, and start spraying
This
my
guy,
animals.
he
You don't ever have to
he
leave.
wakes up. He's like, oh.
Or you
Yeah.
need to up the humidity in the room, just like spray
Yeah.
up in the air.
I'm over here just watching like Netflix, eating popcorn while I'm throwing like crickets at my geckos.
You know what else
Oh, my
helps?
goodness.
Uniformity. Like Brian's gecko room, when you see Brian's, it's like, I have OCD too. So
Yeah.
uniformity helps me a lot because
Oh yeah.
when we have like all different sizes of cages and all different sizes of bins for adults, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And my
Just
mind
go-
gets crazy thinking about it.
Yeah,
So
you just gotta go bang, 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 bang. Bro, I probably knock out feeding in like cricket's a little bit longer, but if I feed like Pangea, if I'm doing gecko diet, I probably knock out adults, and this is like 400 animals now. I probably knock it out in less than 2 hours, like an hour and a half.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just quick. That's good. Cool.
Well,
All right, and then let's.
I
pass
could
this
if I
back.
wanted, but my problem is I start taking pictures and I start messing around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Scott,
the
I
problem.
actually do
I
that
sit down
too.
and I
I
try
do
to breed
too.
who's
Yeah, Chad
who's
too.
breeding to
Yeah.
who, and I make these lists. He's going to her, and he's going to her, and these ones
Yeah.
have these possibilities. And in the end, I think all I do is just go boom, boom.
That's awesome,
That's
guys.
great.
Cool. And then last one. Let me ask this last one for all of us. We talked about glass tanks and bins already. Line breeding. Last topic. For the 4 of us here. What are your thoughts on line
I'll be
breeding?
last. I'll be last.
You be last. Okay.
What? Not me, Scott. Let's go,
Scott, do
Scott.
you do line breeding?
Because I don't do line breeding.
I have one that I do that I've line bred, just one.
Yeah.
Well, one male and one female.
Yeah.
They came from Fireside Line, and
Okay.
there's you gotta watch
Everest?
when you line breed, obviously.
Yeah.
What did
No.
you do, Everest?
No, if you the first picture on my Instagram that I just posted tonight, I bred her to half sibling.
Oh, okay.
I did have an
This one.
Everest one that I had got that was
Mhm.
line bred also.
Oh wow, that's fire, man.
You just gotta be careful. You just gotta be careful when you do it.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
we
you know,
just
Scott-
shared Kevin's geckos like 5 times on this podcast already.
I know. Yeah, Kevin.
Really?
All the Kevin's geckos. Everybody's Kevin. Scott. So since you do leopard geckos, that a ton of line breeding goes on leopard geckos. And so,
Yeah.
what's the difference
It's kind
between
of funny how
leopards
like
and
the
crested?
both communities look at it differently. And
Yes.
People do leopard geckos. It's like line breed, line breed, line breed.
Yep.
And crested geckos, when you say line breed, everybody's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canceled.
So it's
Yeah.
weird how like
If you do it
you know, I
responsibly,
showed dogs for years. You line breed. I showed guinea pigs for years. You line breed. Crested geckos. People want to scream and like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be
Stuff.
good. You
That
just
was
have to
tough
watch
for
what you're doing.
Yeah, it's
So the-
interesting because for me, I got into reptiles primarily cresteds, and this is what I kind of grew into. Oh, you have to watch out! Don't cross these and this and that. And then I realized more and more that every other reptile, nobody does that except for cresteds. So what's the difference? What's the pros and cons, I guess, of why do cresteds do that and nobody else?
Well, the
can fix
consensus
the
is
train.
because the crested gecko gene pool is small. Because
Yeah.
what was the original import was like like they're saying like there's only about like
it was like
what-
50, I heard, right?
yeah, from what we have is less than, they say 200, but they say that from what we have now is probably everything. What do we have? Thousands of geckos. They all originated from less than like 200 animals, which is probably like I mean, in all reality, probably like around 100 animals were the original. So that's why a lot of people say not to do line breeding, because 90, so less than 100. So Anthony,
Yeah.
good thing Anthony's in the chat,
Anthony's
man.
in here.
Well,
He's the
Anthony, what will we do? So let's say
Ellen
90.
reptiles.
So we originated from 98 animals, and that's what we're working with, and all the animals that we have originated from those 98. So the gene pool is small. So pretty much almost everything's related at this point. So I guess
And you
if
can't go out in the wild and get wild ones and bring them back in to breed them.
Right.
exactly.
Mhm.
You can do that
So
with
it's
leopard
just-
geckos.
But leopard geckos are like
are they
so highly
are-
line bred though.
Are they still importing? Can you still import leopard geckos right now? Like wild caught?
Honestly, I'm not sure.
I know
don't
because
think
I
so.
know for some time because they're from the Middle East. They're from like Iran and Iraq over there,
yeah.
right? So
Afghanistan.
so what happens? Like they had closed off import for a while, but Ron Tremper brought in thousands and tens of thousands, maybe 50,000, 100,000, whatever amount. He brought in so many leopard geckos into this hobby. So that's why it's a little bit different. But
Mhm.
you can see leopard geckos through line breeding. You'll have some like defects in them. Like I guess no, lemon frost is a problem due to like genetic breeding. So it's just that's genetic. But
I think if you do though, just at least know where your geckos come from. At
Mm.
least.
Hmm.
Do it responsibly. Yeah.
oh wow, Estevan's in here, man. That's who I got Super Giants from. My
Oh, yeah?
two girls. Yeah.
That's the difference
Ah.
too, Chad, with leopards and cresteds. And I like this about cresteds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Usually you get like the parent information. It comes from
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
the father, this is the mother. They
Yes.
come from here, and you kind of get that. And leopard geckos,
It's almost like
you just get
like
the,
show dogs,
the morphs
right?
in the head.
It's like
you just get the morphs in the head, and you have no idea who the parents
Mm.
really are. you know?
Huh.
And I mean, if you
Yeah.
ask, you can find
Wow.
out, but it's not.
It's
not
not
something that
common.
people
Huh.
like in crested
Yeah.
geckos. Most
No,
people
yeah.
name their geckos.
Correct.
So who's the father? Jupiter. Who's the mother? Nova.
Yeah.
And leopard geckos, it's very rare that people name them.
Yeah,
and
yeah, Scott. When I was asking you for leopard geckos and a couple other friend breeders that breed leopards, I didn't even ask for parents. I was like, "That looks cool. I'll take it."
Yeah.
yeah, because
Which is
because
fine, you don't. And
they're
if you
gonna
ask, I could
they're gonna
show you,
laugh at you.
but it's not
They're
like
gonna
they
laugh
don't have
at you.
names.
It was
Yeah.
nice. It was
It's a
nice
big
not to
difference.
worry about that. So,
Yeah.
but I get it. It's important to a large degree, right? In terms of not
Let's
having
see,
too
Harry,
many
just
inbred.
to bring that
crested.
point up, I could have line bred that for. I mean, I got it from
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, from George.
Not
Yeah.
that I mean, I bred it from one from George, but I could
Yeah,
have line. It could
Golden
be
Valley.
line bred for 5 generations. You wouldn't even know.
And it'd be okay, huh? Yeah.
I used to do that.
I'm not saying
Leos
it'll be
all the
okay. I'm
time.
just saying you won't know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
With
Say
leopard
again, Brian?
geckos, I think leopard geckos. I did 6 generations of line breeding.
Yeah.
Before, like with albinos. When I first got albinos in 2000, I think 99, 2000, I got my first albino, and I was I mean, it was so I wasn't going out buying freaking more albinos. They were like 30 grand, man.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
so
You had to
I
make them
was-
yourself.
So obviously I was just breeding the kid back to the parent. So
Yeah.
that way I would just get more albinos myself, and that's how I was doing it.
Hmm.
It's just so if you're gonna line breed in crested geckos, I feel like you have to do it responsibly. Responsibly.
Responsibly.
That's-
Yeah.
Responsible. So what happens is like, all right, why you got to think about why you want to line breed this animal. Like, is it because you have an animal that has such high white that you cannot get this animal a replica or something similar from another breeder? So you want to establish that line so that way you can consistently produce very high white animals.
Yeah.
So then you would breed it a half sibling or half siblings back together, or a kid. Some people will say like you wouldn't breed a offspring back to a parent, but that's
It happens.
I-
I mean,
it
even with
does,
the sable, the sable we have a very limited amount of
Exactly.
sable.
Mhm.
It's being line bred, 100%.
And this goes
Everything-
back.
everything
sorry, go
everything goes back to Rialto, so everything's related to Rialto. So what if you're breeding sable to something else? It's all related to Rialto.
Correct. Yeah.
So
And
the
that
same-
also goes back to like Ralph's question, like you're if you're doing this, you're pretty much like line breeding at some point,
Yeah.
right? You're establishing a name for yourself, like that
Yeah.
gecko, So it could be a it could be a good thing if you do it right. If you're doing it for the responsibly and for your brand. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
definitely.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
Line
and
breeding
also
and any
if
animal has good points and bad points. You have to be careful when you line breed because it's just not going to strengthen the good parts. It's going to strengthen the bad parts too.
yeah,
Correct.
Mhm.
you
so
have
that's
to-
why if you
Don't
do
do
a
it unless
line
you really,
breed,
really.
if you do a line breed, outcross it the next generation
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
can. Like
Yeah.
don't consistently keep line breeding, outcross it, and then
Bring it
come
back
back in eventually later on. But
Yeah.
don't
Right.
if you're gonna do multiple generations of line breeding, you're definitely getting canceled out there. That's just
Yeah.
that's just
Oh,
guaranteed.
cresteds. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Be
mean,
patient. Just be patient. Yeah. Outcross.
we could
Build
touch
healthy
another
animals.
subject about like Korea. They don't even care about lineage. So you don't. Who knows how much line?
Do
Not
they name
breeding.
stuff out there in Korea?
No,
I don't think
it's
they do. I don't know.
they call it kre.
Cray, yeah. The cray for crested gecko.
They call
Yeah.
it cray cray.
Awesome. Cool. You guys have any final thoughts to close out before we close down for the night, for the evening?
No, unless there's
No,
any
this-
questions.
this
is good. That's
This
good.
is a good,
this is a
good episode, man. I
It's long, but
liked
it
it.
was, it went by quick.
Yeah, it went by real quick. It's 10:40. I gotta be up at 3 a.m. for work.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh man, I gotta let
Thank
you
you,
guys
Harry,
go.
for
No,
doing
it should be 11:40 there, right?
No, it's 10:40 here.
Oh,
10:40,
10:40,
yeah, 'cause
yeah.
it's 7:40 here in California.
It's 9:40
Yeah.
here.
But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys. Brian, thank you for sitting in for AJ.
I hope I
AJ
did a good job. I hope I did a good job.
held it down, bro.
It's
And
hard.
then-
It's hard. Those are big shoes to fill.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he
Big
really
shoes,
does
big
have
shoes.
big shoes.
He does. Well, Brian does too. Brian's a giant. These two are both frost giants.
yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
Frost,
He's like an
Frost
Asian
giant.
mutation.
You know what we say about
Well,
big shoes?
Scott's never
Asian
seen me in
mutation.
person. Scott's
oh,
never
Scott's
seen
never
me in
seen
person.
Brian.
No.
Brian's huge. If you bred Brian with AJ, they would be like
Oh, yeah.
super giants. They would be like huge.
Super giant.
Me and AJ are gonna breed.
Yeah. Line breed them.
Line breed.
No,
Get
we can't line breed. That's outcrossing, man. Asian and white, man.
So you're line breeding in the Asian youth. So you're good.
Yeah. I can't wait
Oh.
to meet you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same Scott. Yeah.
Wait,
so-
3
you
months,
guys either.
man. 3 months. Florida
3
Fun
months.
is only
Yeah.
3
It'll be
months.
fun. Yeah, it'll be good hanging
For
out with you,
sure.
Scott. So appreciate you, Scott at Miami Art at Geckos, and then our buddy Chad at Kaimana Geckos. Appreciate your time, guys.
Take care.
See you guys,
you,
and
Harry,
thank
for
you
doing
guys
You guys.
out
Thank you
there.
for doing all the
Thank you
time.
for the community joining with us and hanging out with us for so long. We've had like 60 people almost the whole night live,
That's
which
great,
is
man.
amazing. So
That is great.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll keep doing these and have more content out for you guys. Appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Next week is going to be Michael from Chihuahua Chamber, and that's going to be a good one. So if you have any Kahua questions, toss them
You should have
towards
both
me or
ways up there.
AJ.
Chad, what's
Yeah.
his last name? Chad, what's his last name?
Panini.
Panini. Michael
Michael
Panini.
Panini.
It's
Panoni.
Panini.
Panoni, yeah. Panoni.
Yeah,
Panone.
no. Well,
Yeah,
as
it's not
at
like a
first, I was like,
sandwich.
oh, yeah.
It's a sandwich.
Yeah.
Panini sandwich.
Michael Panini.
Michael, where you at? All right, guys.
Brian, we got
We'll
our
see you guys
Brian,
next
we
time.
got our sandwich.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
All right, guys,
All right.
man.
Bye.
Take
Good night,
care.
guys. Everyone out
job.
there. See ya.
Good night,
Love you, bye.
everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yes. Thanks for watching. Good
Thank you
night.
for watching, guys.
Follow everybody, all our guests. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man.